What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV. This is the Subcast, the live broadcast where you get the chance to come on the show and talk about No Man's Sky, talk about what other game that's on your mind, or talk about your YouTube channels, talk about how your day's been. So I really look forward to having you guys come in. Or call in, rather. Just trying to get some stuff set up here. Alright, so we got coming in RB Games. We got Genetic Code. I want to show you guys something. Valentine's Day. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Valentine's Day was amazing, and I want to show you what I got for Valentine's Day. This shirt. My wife got me this shirt for Valentine's Day, and also a poster. She got me a poster of Revenge of the Survivor. How cool is that? Look, there's Rust Bucket, and there's David, and there's that guy. Yeah, that guy. So it's awesome. I want to thank my wife. Thank you so much for making me pretty happy, showing the appreciation. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. How you doing, guys? We've got RB Games. We got Ewan, John S., Enrico Bandito, Guido Kane. What is going on, guys? Okay, so I'm going to go get ready. We're going to finish getting ready for the subcast. Let you guys come on in, and we'll be right back. I really look forward to hearing you guys tonight. Waking Titan. Waking Titan. What is Waking Titan? Where'd it go? So I'll be right back, and be right back. All right, we are officially 100% ready. We've got the coffee. Let's get Skype up here and see if anybody wants to come on the show. We've got Panda wants to come on the show. So, okay. Waking Titan soon. Sleeping Titan is what I see everybody calling it. It's called Sleeping Titan. Okay, so let's see what everybody's saying in the chat here. We got Guido Kane saying, "What's up, Cobra? Could I try to come on the subcast?" Yeah. If you're ready to invite people, sure. We could go ahead and get some people on here early. I've got really any of the topics I wanted to bring up, I could bring up while people are on the call. So RB, yes, go ahead and add me on Skype, LpoLi1622. Let me get this music off of here. I love it so much I just forget that it's on. Okay, the music is off. Let me get back to my screen so I know what's going on. What is up, Zachary Hunt? Thank you for coming out. Black Note. Yeah, last show was kind of crazy, and I seen you dipped out. This show should be a lot more chill. So if you want to come on the show, I would actually love that. As far as RB Games, please come on. Add me on Skype at LpoLi1622. That's LpoLi1622 on Skype, and I'll drag you on the show kicking and screaming. I believe so. Just send me a message, RB, and I'll pull you on the show. Okay, we got SPDLST. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? We're gonna get Panda on the show, I believe. I hope this is a new message. If not, then I apologize, Panda. Panda.
What's going on, Cobra? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I had all the speakers turned up and you were really loud in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. How you been?
I'm doing great, man. I was watching Tim's stream earlier, man. That stuff is crazy.
Yeah, he's a wild one.
He took a big old shot for me to watch, and I put it in the message, and I'm like, I missed it, bud. I missed it.
Yeah, he's got like 2 bottles he's working on. I don't know. He's doing something. I don't know.
I am definitely gonna have to watch that a little bit later. All right, we're gonna add Ray to the call, I think. Yeah, Ray. Yeah. Ray, what's going on, buddy?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bud. We can hear you. Are you the one responsible for making the maze?
What?
Are you the one responsible for making the traveler maze? Are you that Ray?
No.
Okay.
I'm from the Netherlands.
Oh, you're from the Netherlands?
Yep.
How you doing, man? What brings you on the show tonight, dude?
Well, it's just the first time I'm ever here, so I just want to talk to you, you know?
Oh, sure, man. I want to talk to you as well.
I'm a subscriber since 2014, the whole start of No Man's Sky.
Wow, you've seen some crazy stuff on this channel then.
I did. I really did.
Oh, man.
I sure did. But I have also seen a lot of other games by your channel, like Star Citizen, Agony.
Okay.
And I love it all. I love it, really.
That's too good, man. Thank you so much.
What I like about your channel, man, is you're so informative. You have a lot of information wherever I need it, I just go to your channel and try to search for the information I need to. So I'm glad you're here, man. I really do.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much, dude. I'm glad you're here as well. Give me one quick second. So what do you think about Wakey Titan kind of just
well, the only thing I know is from your channel, so I'm not really in good information with that yet. I just wait for the update to show up. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah, the update. So you're not really gonna follow too much of the Waking Titan energy.
Only here.
Oh, just here. I appreciate that, dude. I really do.
No.
So how do you play the game? What are you doing in No Man's Sky?
Everything. Travel around, gathering stuff, explore, just search everything out. Just try to find everything, try to do the most things that I can.
Okay.
So
you're doing the exploring. Are you doing a storyline? And you're just all over the map. You're just doing everything.
Yes, if I can, I do that.
That's awesome, buddy. That's awesome. Panda? What do you got on the plate, man? What have you been up to?
So right now, I'm sort of just like base building. my channel partner, Hidden Agenda's got a circuit board farm going, and I'm going to do a circuit board farm as well. And there's sort of like a glitch you could use with the terminus that respawns all the plants at a base instantly. So we're just going to swap back and forth between each other's bases and try to make as many millions as possible, because we got to get our money up for this next update.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Oh, we got Fatal's in the chat. Oh my God, Fatal, man. Fatal, if you could join, that'd be sweet. Fatal's great. Well, he's a Twitcher now. Is that what they call them? Twitchers? I have no idea. I stay away from Twitch. I don't know what it is. I just can't. I can't get into it. I just like YouTube. I don't know why.
You don't watch YouTube, Cobra?
No, Grammy. Oh,
Graham?
we got Grammy and we got Black Note. Grammy scared the crap out of me. I'm like, I'm sitting there like, Ray, your voice just really changed, dude. Hi, Grammy. How you doing?
Awesome.
I'm good. How are you?
Good evening, Black Note.
What's going on?
Black Note. Hey, buddy. This turns out to be a pretty interesting show already.
Yeah. Hey, Cobra.
Yeah.
I watched your maze video today.
I know what you're gonna say. Half of it's not there.
Huh?
Half of it's not there.
Okay.
I see my conversation about it being not all there. I kind of edited that out just so I didn't know if the person was like reconstructing it, you know, like tearing it down and making a better maze, because now people are coming to it a lot more often. So I didn't really talk about how it wasn't all there. But I guess it was it's a build limit as far as he could see it, but we can't.
Right on.
So it's like it's a bit of a problem. But it was fun nonetheless.
Best maze of all. Best maze of all. One you can't see.
What's that?
I said the best maze of all, the one you can't see. Try to get through it.
It's an instant win.
Or lose.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I won it too quickly. I just went through and I think I beat it in like 10 seconds.
You're just special. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you,
I'd
Grammy.
probably die in it.
Hey, speaking of special, look at my shirt and my poster in the background. Isn't that freaking awesome? My wife got that for me for Valentine's Day.
I don't have you up yet. Hang on.
It really looks cool, man.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
By the way, did you know that in April, what's that game? Damn. That game you play in hell. Oh, God. Agony is coming in April.
Yeah, I know, man. I can't wait. Are you stoked for that?
Yep, I am.
Oh, did you guys see the new trailer for Identity? The gameplay trailer?
No.
It's out. The gameplay trailer for Identity is out. It shows you playing it. It shows the person playing a cop, and he comes up to this meth house.
You know what? I don't have a gaming PC right now, because I want to fucking play that for real. Sorry about my language, but I love it.
It's okay, buddy. It happens.
I love it so much.
You love Identity?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I also play Sims, so that's very similar, but it's so hyped up. It's so cool.
Yeah, it sure is.
Identity's out.
No, but they got a new gameplay trailer, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing.
It just came.
Because I want to play it when it comes out. I'm hoping to have the PC by then and my gaming PC by then, but
yeah.
We'll see.
What'd you say, Black Note?
That's the whole problem. I don't have a gaming PC, so no Identity, but also no Star Citizen, which I want to play it also.
Yeah.
But in a few months, a few good games coming out on PlayStation, and I can't wait for those.
Which ones?
Days Gone, The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
God of War.
Yeah.
Can't wait for those. Let them come as soon as possible.
Yes, that's right. The one you said that I'm waiting for the most is Days Gone, for sure.
That one for you.
I'm waiting. Yeah, all three of them are good, so I can choose for real.
Yes, definitely. Black Note, what did you say earlier?
Is the trailer for Identity, is it the one that just came out like 3 days ago?
Yeah, the one that where the cop is driving the SUV police.
Hold on, I gotta search too.
Okay, yeah, I'm watching it right now, and he's like in a trailer, like Breaking Bad, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the thing that I see about that is I think the movement of the characters is a bit artificial.
Yeah,
it's too stiff. Other than that, the game is looking amazing. But again, think about you're looking at a trailer that is of a game that is still in development. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of work done to it.
Yeah.
We got Adam from Keep Calm and Game On, the YouTube channel Keep Calm and Game On. If you guys haven't heard of it, go check it out. Just type in Keep Calm Game On. He's the moderator. Oh man, we got Natalie in the chat. Haven't seen Natalie for a long time. We've go check out Keep Calm and Game On. Adam, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the shout out.
Hey, no problem. You're not in the bathroom, are you?
I was thinking he was in a canyon or a can.
Is there an echo?
There's a reason why I'm starting to call this show Late Night with Cobra TV Subcasts.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be as
good call,
interesting
Cobra.
as last time.
Do you even know what time it is here right now?
What time is it?
Almost 5 a.m.
Dang.
Well, that's either late or early, however you look at it. If you haven't gone to bed yet, then it's late.
I'm
If
still
you've
awake.
woken up, then it's early.
I'm still awake. I
Okay.
knew one of these moments you would be online because you're always online on Thursdays.
Right. Well, I try and do it on Tuesdays, but Valentine's Day came up, and so I had to celebrate that a little bit, and then, I moved it to tonight. So
Lucky
it's
me.
good to have you on, man.
Well, Tuesdays I can't be online because Wednesdays I have to work. So, and luckily I'm free today, so no problem.
Yeah, that's awesome. We got Gato Kane saying late. It's 7 p.m. Well, it's 7 p.m. for you. We're all in different times. Some people are in the future, some people are in the past. I'm in the present. I'm just gonna state that I'm in the present.
I'm in the now. But it's 7:22 for me. So person must be on the West Coast or Hawaii.
Okay, so we got Panda doing a little project over there with one of his with Hidden Jude trying to get rich with farms. What is everybody else doing?
In No Man's Sky, or just doing?
Well, in general. If it's about No Man's Sky, let's talk about that. If it's if you're doing something else, let's talk about that. And a different thing.
Playing a lot of games.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead. Okay, I'm doing in No Man's Sky. I'm doing M-class systems.
Okay.
The N-class system is the lore that has the homeworld of the Gek, where it's the red dwarf, and then you have the 3 planets and the 3 moons. First planet has 2 moons. Second planet has 1 moon. Last planet has no moons. And it's in that order. So I've been hitting M-class planets. The thing I found out about M-class planets is they hold all the exotic planets. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been charting them across the galaxy.
Right.
Hey, Grammy, on one of your streams, didn't you find 3 exotic planets in one system?
Yes, I did. It was a 6-planet Gek planet, I think. Had 6 planets on it. Well, it was interesting because it almost fit the. I was kind of excited because it was almost fit that one we're looking for, but because it had the first planet had 2 moons, but then none of the rest of the planets had moons, and there was 4. But yeah, there's 3 exotics. So, but it has to carry 3 planets to carry an exotic.
Okay.
So, if it carries
so it has to have 3 planets?
Yeah, it has to have 3 planets. That's been that I'm not going to say that's an absolute because nothing is an absolute, but I have to say 75% of the time when I've been doing it, 3 or more is what you're looking at. 6 is usually a lot for a guest system. So to have the exotics in that is like kind of interesting too. But M systems are also in the Viking and the Kovex. So I haven't yet tried those to see if they also carry the exotic or if it's only the Gek. Because if they all carry exotics, then technically, possibly, the lore might mean that the exotics are the home planets.
I see. Boy, it is really storming over here, so if we lose power, sorry. It just started. We've got Fatal is on the call. Fatal, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh.
It is a pleasure to have you on the show, man. So
what
have you been up to?
Oh, wow. What have I been up to? Well, I haven't been playing a whole lot of No Man's Sky, sadly, and I hate to admit that, but been getting through the days.
Yeah. I tell you, No Man's Sky is kind of strange. Like, if you could get bored playing it, just like every other game, right? Bored, you could get, I want to say, like, to where you want to, you're like, I'm going to put down the pad and play something else, right?
Yeah.
We all got to be honest. There's times, but what happens is you walk away from it and you're looking over your shoulder and you're like, I want to play No Man's Sky.
Yep.
I want to play it.
Yep.
I want to go in there, you know. And when you do, and let's say you were working on a project like getting all of your glyphs, you know, and doing something like that. And then after that was done, you're like, okay, well, what do I do now? But after you walk away for a few days and you come back, you're like, I just saw a video. That guy's doing this. I want to go ahead and do that. So you get back on, and now you're on this adventure to get all suited up and prepared to go do what this guy's doing. And it leads to another adventure. It's like, I don't know, man. It's such a strange game that just sticks to your soul and will not let you go.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I watched your recent video that you uploaded today about the maze and the Portal repository website, which I'm so glad you showed me that.
Yeah.
So now, actually, because it gave me an idea for a stream that I want to do, because my fan base that I've had over on that follow me from YouTube after I left YouTube over on Twitch, they still, well, let's just say they still give me the oomph about No Man's Sky, so to speak. So what I want to do is I'm so glad that you actually talked about this website on your latest video. And by the way, that maze, that I was almost pissing myself laughing watching you play that. But I'm glad that you showed me that because I want to. It gives me the perfect opportunity to finally, you know, at least in creative mode, anyways, finding all like these different things that people have done in creative mode is showing off what the community has done, and I think that's a big part that a lot of people to this day don't really quite understand. This is the main focus is why, like I myself, you, and many others in this community that are still stuck with No Man's Sky as to why we're still playing it. And you know, a lot of people still look at that as being like, you know, the lies. And I keep hearing that day in and day out, believe me. I even get ridiculed every day about my gaming preference, but nonetheless, it's giving me an opportunity to finally zip their lips for a little while because they think that there's no community behind this game. And I want to disprove that. I want to debunk that completely.
Yeah, I mean, the portal address thing is the portal repository is amazing. I mean, because now it's so simple to use too. I mean, even a Cobra could do it. You know, we could, as a community, work together and just like go to all of these awesome places now. But the thing is, with the maze that I went to, only half of it was there. Now, I thought it was just because maybe he was doing some reconstruction, you know, making it better, and he tore down some. But I guess what it is was it's a visible limit. He could see it, but I couldn't see it. So, yeah, I guess the maze was all there when I was there, but I just couldn't see all of it.
Interesting.
So, that's why
about the. Okay.
Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just going to say also about the portal repository. It like if you use the map that the map essentially is on No Man's Sky Amino Hub, but if you can get a hold of the map image the map really helps you get around, because some of the glyphs might be 5 minutes away, and then another one might be 21 minutes away. So you can sort of kind of line up what you need. Like I was there last night getting the last 4 glyphs that I need, and I was able to get the 4 glyphs in about 25 minutes. So it's
not bad.
It's
not bad.
It's awesome. Like that is like if you're needing to get portal glyphs, there is no better place to go than the portal like repository, like period.
Excellent. I'm gonna have to do that, but I have to get myself back to the Elucid or Lucid, however you say the first galaxy that everybody starts in. Euclid. Thank you. Euclid. Yeah. I need to find out when to get back there, so I'm gonna have to try to do what I watched an older video that you uploaded a long time ago. I don't know if it still works or not though, but I'm hoping to God that it still does, to get back to that galaxy, because the one that I'm in right now is bare bones. Like it's bare bones, and I thank the story for putting me there, but I don't feel like starting over because I got so much stuff on my playthrough on that thing, so I don't want to lose everything. So,
right. What system are you then?
What the heck is it called now? Hold on, I'll have to give me a few minutes. I'll have to boot up my game and I'll let you know in a second.
Hilbert.
Okay.
There's Hilbert, Calypso, Eisenton.
No, hold on. Actually, I can go on Wikipedia. I'll be able to tell you here in a second which one it is.
As far as I know, there are
Bulldinger.
56 different universes to play through. So,
there's probably way more than that.
There's a guy in the Gepnik gang, Richard Stevens, that's what he's doing, is bouncing through all the universes. And the last that I heard, he was up to 99.
Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
So he's a YouTube, that's all he does. He just kind of shows his journey through the universes, and he's just trying to see how many of them he can pick up.
That's really cool. That is really neat.
He's kind of it's kind of interesting to watch him too.
I have to confirm it.
Okay, so all right, so the build limit, if you go to the maze, I just want to let everybody know, just reiterate that something's wrong. Okay? And I think it's the game. And it's a shame because, and I was sitting there looking at the picture. I'm like, that doesn't look, am I in the right spot?
The music's the best. I mean, it's just, it just fits it so perfectly.
Oh, thanks, buddy. We're also going to be doing a new comic book with No Man's Sky. And it's going to be fun. Sean Murray is sick and tired of Cobra TV making videos about him and making videos about No Man's Sky. And he tells him to stop, and Cobra tells him, no, I'm actually going to make a video that you're in my computer. Because Sean Murray starts talking to Cobra through the computer.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
So he warps Cobra into the actual game through a portal, and now Cobra's stuck in No Man's Sky, and he's got to battle his way back to Earth.
You're stuck in the simulation.
Cool. That'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. The name of the comic book is actually called The Simulation, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a nice art style to it, and it's black and white. It's going to be a black and white comic book, hardly any color, maybe a couple colors here and there, but super excited. I'm writing a script for it, and I'm going to come out with the issues, pretty long issues, like once a month.
So now, are those drawings yours, or is that somebody else that's drawn the comics for you?
There's a lot of art that's going into this. Half of it's art, half of it's a portion of it's going to be art. Then there's also going to be trickery and filters. And like, if I want to do something, I can take a picture of something, turning it into a PNG, and then put it into the actual picture. So there's going to be a lot to each panel.
Oh, wow. Because I saw you post a couple of pictures on, I believe it's on Twitter, but I also saw a couple in your videos too as well. And I was like, holy crap, this looks awesome.
Yeah, man.
It looks amazing.
Thank you. So other than that, that's the only real news I have for Cobra TV. Just the comic book and our awesome new shirts. And then that's it.
What are your thoughts on Titan?
What are my thoughts on Waking Titan? I'm a little dead inside.
Sleeping.
I'm dead inside.
I'm still waiting for something to come out.
No, I get that, but I mean, take it a little deeper. Okay, so what's going on? I mean, there were stirrings before the new year, and now nothing. Okay, but okay, so what does that mean?
Well, Sean Murray did post something on Valentine's Day.
The heart.
Well,
Yeah, he
how
posted a
many
heart.
passes have been sent, by the way, already?
okay.
But by the way, Hello Games actually retweeted a player model that somebody else had created for an indie game. And if you've been to my channel, you know it's like Tinfoil Central. But I'm just saying right now, whenever Hello Games and Sean Murray both tweet something around the same time or on the same day, something generally happens soon after.
That is
So
correct.
I'm holding my breath. I think something's going to kick off tomorrow. I don't think it's the update, but I think something with the ARG kicks tomorrow.
Right.
He has been retweeting a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's been active. You know what would be really cool is if all of a sudden we got some surprise 1.4 update. Boom. It's just
That would be
like,
fun.
wow, right?
Yeah.
But that update was given to us for the sole purpose to play out the ARG in the game. And then that ARG would lead to 1.5.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. That would be truly remarkable if they do something like that, where all in-game and all players can have a better chance of contributing. That would be awesome.
Yes, it would, man.
Oh, and by the way, I posted the Galaxy that I'm in the actual YouTube chat and also on the Skype chat as well. I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to attempt to announce it or pronounce it. So,
And why do you think that you still haven't gotten your Atlas pass?
I don't know. And I'm
There's a
I'm gonna
reason
call
I-
I'm gonna call it.
That's the verbal equal to trying to get around somebody.
Yeah, right.
It's the delay in Skype. I think you stopped, and then you think I stopped. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
No, go.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say call him out, but I'm just gonna talk about a correspondence between them because I don't know. It's just strange, but they informed me that I was gonna get an Atlas pass, and if I didn't get it in 5 days, to let them know. Why let them know twice and no response? So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
I still think Cobra is the key to all this. I think Cobra's the key. He's gonna get like a little note or something with his pass, and that's gonna kick off the ARG for real. Like that's gonna be the first little step.
What I think, the moment Cobra gets his pass, his Atlas pass, the whole thing starts.
Yeah, I think Cobra's getting it last.
wouldn't that be something though, Cobra? If you were the key to everything, dude.
Cobra, you have to go to platform 9 3/4 and ask Dobby for the pass.
Like I could just picture Cobra like with his Atlas pass, and he has to like go somewhere in real life, and then there's like a box hidden, and then that kicks it off.
Right. We got Colt. Colt's on the chat. KR520. What's going on, buddy? Colt?
He's not really here. He's just pretending.
I don't see him.
Stealth mode.
Yeah, he's in stealth.
Something has to be going on for this to be taking this long on purpose. I don't think that this is like by accident and someone's dropping the ball.
K5RTO, can you hear me all right?
K5R2.
Yep.
Hey, sorry, buddy.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
okay?
we can hear you, man. How you doing, bud?
I can hear you.
I don't think he can
Yeah,
hear
me
us.
too.
Oh.
I don't think Colt can hear us. Colt, we can hear you, bud. So, but you know, I think if they're waiting for all the Atlas passes to come out, I think they shouldn't have said anything back. What was it? The end of December, early of January. They should have just sent them out, not even said anything. You know what I mean?
I heard Waking Titans. I don't know. I heard Waking Titans. Somebody say Waking Titans was alive and well?
No, it's not. I said it's dead. And I said I'm dead inside.
How you guys doing,
Well,
man? Sorry about that.
How
I
many
haven't
I'm
passes
doing
used
have
good.
been
since last
sent
summer.
already?
Yeah, man. It's good to have you on the show, buddy. And I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. I do that to everybody.
It's all right. Just call me Colt. Everybody else
Colt.
does.
Okay, bud. All right. What brings on the show tonight, dude?
K5 now. You're K5 now. It's easy.
K5 RTO, Colt. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But I'm super happy to be here, Cobra. I noticed I saw the late night, after hours, and I'm like, yeah, he's on my level now. He's on my level now.
Well, I figure, we had Tim on the show the other night peeing in the toilet like 5 times. And,
oh my God.
May as well put that logo up there and put it, just call it late night. Like, that's your warning. You walk into this door, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what you're going to hear? I can no longer protect you guys. I can't. So bring it on.
Yeah, man. So I think like everybody else, I'm just kind of waiting, waiting Titan. I think is the name of the game now, but I'm sure they've got some ultimate plan that we're all going to get completely immersed in. I'm really looking forward to it. Personally, I've been playing a lot of Ray Rod's mod lately. In fact, I haven't even picked up the vanilla game in probably a month, I want to say.
Wow.
So I've been exploring Ray Rod sort of, you guys are familiar with Ray Rod. He's been working on basically an overhaul mod for quite some time. And I really appreciate it. I kind of like, what he's going for. He's trying to sort of reproduce the images we were seeing in the E3 content. I know it's a touchy subject for everybody, because the vanilla game is awesome, but I've been personally, man, every time I hop in his overhaul, I'm blown away, and it really it's kind of like that transition piece for me between updates. And right. So for me, I've been streaming a lot of that over on Twitch and having a really great time. It always brings people out of the woodwork, both people that I've never met before and also new folks and the old folks, the old timers like ourselves. It's really great, man. It's been a really great little journey. So it's its own little journey, and it's kind of it's tidying me over basically. So I'm keeping occupied.
I agree.
If you haven't checked it out, you got to, man.
Oh yeah,
not an advertisement.
I just got my PC fixed, so I haven't had a chance to try any the mod. But I've been seeing some pictures here lately. He's been posting some pictures of some giant animals. Right. Like, I mean, when I say giant, these things are you would have to see these things from space. You'd have to.
Yeah,
Have you seen any of that stuff?
Yeah, there's some overkill in it. But at the same time, every once in a while you walk onto a planet and it's just because, it's just like the vanilla game, right? You could visit, 15 planets that are barren as hell and don't really strike your fancy after playing the game for a year, and then all of a sudden you land on this one planet and it's just like, what the heck is going on here? It's mind-blowing, and he's also not only has he increased the size of certain animals, certain creatures, but also there's some combinations of creatures that you've never seen before, and all he's doing really, I mean, from what I understand, I'm not a modder, I'm not a programmer, but from what I understand he's doing, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because he is a No Man's Sky fanatic, just like all of us. Right. And he's devoted so much time and attention to just sort of bringing this image of the E3 trailer to life, just because he loves the game and he just wants to see what the procedural generation is really capable of by tweaking certain mysterious things, in the code itself, brings about these creature combinations that are just absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, it looks like some of these things look like something that would come out of like an Alien movie, one of the Alien series movies and stuff. And it kind of takes you back a little bit, you're like, whoa, so that's what, I mean, the engine itself that Sean Murray produced is what's creating these things. All he's doing is tweaking little bits here and there, to bring about this fence. So it's all there, it's all there. He's tweaking it. He does add some things, just to play around, but most of it, fundamentally is stuff that the engine itself is capable of, and I think that's what makes it a remarkable piece of fan generated work, and I think that we can all respect that in some regards. Some people are like, whatever, they're on PS4. I play PS4 the majority of the time, but PC piece, you know. So I thought I'd bring people's attention to that. I think it's an awesome thing. I love No Man's Sky so much. You know, it's just awesome to see what the engine is actually capable of doing. I think it might give us little hints on what's to come in the future. I don't know.
Well, we've had Ray on this channel and several times, and I want to talk about Ray just for a second. And I'm glad you brought him up. And he's been, I tell you what, you said he's devoted. That's an understatement. You know, I mean, this guy is, man, he's accomplished so much with his overhaul mod. Oh my God.
See, you're changing stuff around already. You're already in the
right. I'm modding my own sentence here.
It goes well, Cobra. It goes well.
But he's been attacked by the modding community so hard, and he's been kicked out of because everyone's accusing him of stealing people's mods, and they're saying that he's not even modding, that he's just copying and pasting and putting things together, and none of this is his content at all. And he's being kicked out of modding communities. He's being banned. He's I don't know. He's just being treated very unfairly. There's a lot of drama that's going on with Ray, and it hurts me because I know this guy very well. We talk privately all the time. We message, and this guy's going through so much. So if anybody out there that hears this, even if you're on PS4, support, you know, give Ray a little bit of support, give him a little pat on the back, you know, saying great job. I mean, this guy has got to be working on No Man's Sky 14, 18 hours out of the day. He's got to be.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
He does.
Yeah. Just type in Ray Rod No Man's Sky and he'll pop up.
He actually just came out with a video kind of explaining all the drama and what took place from his point of view. So that kind of explains it if you guys want to check it out.
In that video,
I have to say, you boys, or the nerdy boys for No Man's Sky are very drama-y. Like being in a hall with a bunch of girls, teenage girls. I know
that. I'll give you that.
My wife says we act like a bunch of girls. No Man's Sky, like girls act like to Twilight.
Yeah. So you're saying, Sean,
that's a beautiful way of summing it up. That's a beautiful way of summing it up. Wow.
Are you Team Corvax or are you Team Viking?
Exactly.
Yo, what about Team Gek?
Yeah, don't forget. Oh, there's some
hardcore
Gek out there.
Yeah.
I'm not forget. Yeah.
Yeah,
because they're witches are good.
So, Cobra, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Your video when you explained about like getting travelers to spawn, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you give me a Reader's Digest of that real quick to make sure? Because I'm trying to do it right now and it's not really doing anything for me. I know you said I think it takes a couple tries.
Right. Okay. So do you have a beacon at yours or do you have a?
Yeah, I have a beacon at mine. I have a beacon. I just put one down. I just placed one down.
All right. So what I did it 4 times at one trading post and it didn't work. Right.
Yeah.
So I ended up talking to an NPC and he gave me a waypoint to a trade post. And I'm like, yes, a trade post. So I go to the trade post. I land. There's 3 Korvax. And PolPC said if it doesn't work at the first one, go to the next one. And so I did. So I'm at this trading post. It's got 3 Korvax. I get back in my ship. First I walk. I don't know if this counts, if this matters. But I got out of my ship. I walked under the pavilion. And I kind of looked at all of them, went back into my ship, went straight up into space until I was so far that you can see your galaxy map. So that way you know you're in space. It's not still on the planet. Then I turned back around, went back down to the waypoint, landed, and like you see in the video, a traveler was sitting right there.
Okay.
So it didn't work on my first trading post, and I did it like 4 or 5 times, and then I went to the second one, and it worked immediately. So what I would do is try and find a different one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
and then just do it again. Do it. The one Pol had, he put down a beacon. The one I had a waypoint because an NPC told me where a trade post was. So I'm not sure, and I know it didn't get patched.
Yeah, no, because it hasn't been any updates since the video. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So it works. I mean, I didn't think it was going to work. I thought Pol just got lucky. It's not going to happen with me. And then lo and behold, man, I did, and I sat there like, it worked. It worked. Look, he's standing right there. You couldn't hear that though. I didn't put that in the video. I was screaming too loud. What happened?
You should put it in the video.
Oh, I see.
In the video.
But it's a cool little trick, man. I mean, when it works, it's amazing. Are you at your second one yet?
Yeah, I'm at my second one. Yeah, the one that has the beacon on it. Yeah, because the first one didn't do anything for me.
Okay. And have you tried it again?
Yeah, I've done it like 4 times now, and it's nothing.
Oh, what the heck? Try and get an NPC to tell you where one is.
Okay.
So that way you have that little waypoint instead of using a beacon. I don't know if that matters, but that's what I did. I talked to an NPC, told me where it was, and you get that little house logo. And
how does it come up in the story in the first place?
Huh?
How does it come up in the story in the first place?
How does what come up?
Glyphs. To go get a glyph.
You meet a traveler?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You
meet a traveler, you're on you're just floating around and you're like in the middle of one of your things you're doing, and you go to a space station and a traveler pops up at a certain part of the game. I want to say it's closer towards the end of the game. It's been a while since I played the story part of it, but
it's the beginning of the Artemis quest. Like I think it's after you meet Null. I think it starts happening with the glyphs, or right before you meet Null.
Yeah, you'll see one standing in the space station. That's the first. I think that's the first place you're going to find one. And
but they
you
just
go up
keep
there,
popping up randomly.
Yeah, they're random after you meet the first one. Yeah.
Right.
All you need is the first 2, though, to go to that planet to get the other 14.
There you go.
Right.
The putting a beacon down is probably the most vital piece of it. And I actually learned about this I think it was being kept sort of undercover because they didn't want it to get patched.
It took a while, though.
It's such a pain in the butt. Yeah, it does take a while. It's not like overnight, really, for most people. But
I remember when this update first came out, I remember so many people, including myself, went on Reddit and was like just seeking the answers. Like, yo, how in the hell do we find these portal glyphs? Mm-hmm. And it took quite a while until people started figuring it out.
Right. Yeah. I think it's amazing what TOG did. How the heck did they find all those glyphs on that one planet?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I say it happens. I mean, AGT, one of the members of AGT told me about it, and also Dave Langer told me about it, and they were like, you got to do, hey, you're at that part in the Artemis quest, go do this real quick. And like, I kind of screwed it up the first time, so I actually restarted the game not too long afterward from day one, and started making my way. So it does work. It's just that you've got to set that beacon at, I want to say it works more often than not when you set that beacon at the first glyph you find, basically. And then
you're talking about the glitch to get all 16, like,
yeah, on one
you
planet.
go to the trade terminal and you sell something and then come back down and get the new glyph.
Well, just setting the beacon at the glyph, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, Cobra, I want to bring up something in the chat real quick. So I told everybody to comment 1 if they thought the update was, we needed an update, and I told them to comment 2 if they thought they were just, fine playing the current build. I saw a lot of 1s, so everybody thinks it's been a while. Honestly,
time for an
opinion,
update.
Yeah, honestly, though, like, it doesn't feel like the last update was that long ago. To me, at least, because I guess I don't play as much as other people, but to me, it just feels like a couple of months ago. So
I know it does. It feels like that, yeah. But when you stop and think,
the game as it is, but.
It was 6 months ago, and tomorrow is officially 2 years or 1.5 years since No Man's Sky came out. But Atlas Rises came out 6 months ago.
It feels like super recent to me, though. I don't know why.
That could be what 1.5 means.
Might be.
Well, that's what I've been speculating on my channel because it obviously wasn't a date.
Wow.
So it could just be like a milestone because 1.5 years would be tomorrow. And they've been tweeting and retweeting and stuff. So, I mean, again, total tinfoil speculation, but 1.5
I agree with you, man.
technically be tomorrow.
I'm right there.
I got my tinfoil.
I agree with you.
So wait, so hold on. So what you're saying is that the 1.5 that was listed on the, what was the website called again there, Cobra?
Myriad.
Thank you. Yes. Could be like a year and a half.
Yes.
Like a year and a half.
It could be. It could be.
I was definitely wrong. I was
1.5
definitely wrong
years.
on the January 5th thing that I had going. So I was definitely wrong
when
on
you
that. So I'm
think-
eating crow on that one.
Well, that's a good guess too. I mean, I actually thought that as well. But when you think about 1.5, we're supposed to be getting 1.4, right, for this update.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it skips to 1.5, and you're like, wait, what? So then you got so many questions like, are we going to get a 1.4 that's going to be used for the ARG, and then we get the 1.5 later? Or, like, Panda said, are we looking at a year and a half? The year and a half milestone.
I have a screenshot. I'll put it in the Skype chat. I just got to find it. But one of the subscribers to my channel was talking with Allison Smith in his private messages on Twitter. And he said that they were having some back and forth banter. And he was like, I'm just chilling, excited for I'm just waiting on 1.4. And they responded back, so are we. So they acknowledged that like they're also waiting on 1.4. So it could be that 1.5 is 1.5 years. Tomorrow we get 1.4, or the update kicks off, or the ARG kicks off, or there's some sort of significance. But I think that like by sending that message, Allison Smith sort of confirmed in a way that like the next update is 1.4 and that 1.5 means something different.
Oh, stop it. You just gave me a chubby.
Do you think they would start the next part of the ARG though without everyone getting their passes? Because I know there's still a lot of people that haven't got them. Like I don't know if that.
What's the count?
I think the passes serve two purposes personally. So they're keepsakes. They're sort of like memorabilia for people that participated in Waking Titan and signed up. But I think what's more important for them is that all the different designations get out. Because I think that Melamoni, who's a friend of mine on Twitter and Twitch.
She's awesome, by the way.
She is awesome. She thinks, and because she was talking about it in Discord, she thinks that we're going to get broken off into the different designation groups, and we're going to have to work in independent teams to like solve the ARG. So
I agree.
And we've only unlocked 10 glyphs. We got 6 left. So the ARG is not even close to being over.
Does anybody know how many are sent already?
Yeah, what's the count?
So Cobra, on Game Detectives, I saw a post today that Russia was starting, most of Russia and some of the old Soviet, countries, the countries that used to be considered parts of the Russian Republic. They've all been getting their passes. They've been putting it in that they're getting their passes, and there's a couple of different websites that keep track of the passes that are going in. There's one that I did that's just a base one. You don't have to put your name in. You can put your email in if you want, but you don't have to. And basically it's just what was your alt pass, and that was it. And so they can keep track of them. And they said a couple, but I can't remember how many they said off the top of my head. I could look real quick and see if you guys are interested. But an interesting thing to remember too is that if you have your email that was sent to you about your pass, which for some reason I don't have mine, but if you have it, it has all the information that's on the card. So that's one of the things, was that if you did not receive a card, your email is your pass.
What? It doesn't have the Phoenix hex, does it?
It doesn't have the Phoenix hex, but the code on the back is your CSD number.
Right.
Yeah, that's a CSD
one
number.
that puts you into the group. As in what Panda was saying, if the lady's correct and we ended up needing to be in groups, you would have your pass already on your email.
Basically, yeah.
Yes, if you had.
Oh yeah.
So the percentage reported according to the Atlas Pass V4 listing is at, this is out of 10,000, 20% have been reported, but that's not to say that the groups haven't been reported, like all the groups haven't been accounted for, And from what Grammy's saying is that you already know what your designation is, so all the information you need to continue forward with the ARG is already there. 20% of the people or 20% of 10,000 has been reported as being delivered. Now, there's probably a massive quantity of people that haven't reported, right? So it's probably a lot higher, but that's where we're at in standing.
Yeah. So Empire of Hova's in a chat. Big shout out to Empire of Hova. He said there's 2,000 confirmed so far. Like, like Colt just said, there's probably a good deal of people that didn't go and register that they've gotten one, but 2,000 people have. So I would say, what would you say? What would be a good number to say people haven't? I wouldn't say it'd be 1,000 that did not register that they got one.
I think more than that.
You think more than 1,000 people didn't register that they got an Atlas Pass?
Yeah. I would say 50% of the people that would have received their Atlas Pass probably haven't registered it.
Did you register on the website that you got it from?
I didn't register mine when I got mine. I didn't register mine when I got mine. I waited a while to see what who was gonna. There was a whole bunch of sites that were popping up, so I had to decide which site I wanted to actually register it in. But there was a bunch of people that had told me they weren't going to register it because they were told not to share their information. So that's why some of us were waiting for a more neutral website. So in case that was kind of like they were watching to see the sharing.
And they said we were allowed to share it as long as we shared it with the CSD members.
With other CSD members, we couldn't share it with non-CSD. And the website where you add it is a Google document that only a few people are privy to view. So it's really secure. And if you go on Twitter and look for, some of Peaceful Gamer's previous tweets, the Google Doc link is on one of his tweets in the last week or something, and you just follow it and go add your Atlas Pass if you have it.
Right. Before us paranoid people, it takes a little longer to decide that, maybe we want to, do that. So that's kind of why I was waiting. Because I'm paranoid and I just thought, they already kind of know stuff, but on the same token, because you didn't know who might be watching or not watching, because some places aren't as secure. And so that was just the people that I had talked to when I asked them why they hadn't, gotten it in and done said they had gotten it, and that's just paranoia. That's all.
I'm really paranoid also, and the guy that I run my channel with doesn't even know what's on the back of my card. So that's just an indicator.
It's like how comfortable I felt putting it.
Err on the side of caution. That's exactly right.
So I got a quick question for you guys. So how long after the initial launch of the game did the graphical update happen? Like how long ago was that? You know what I mean?
It happened
after a year. It did get a graphical upgrade, right?
The graphical update happened after Pathfinders when it got the biggest graphical upgrade.
Do you think we'll see more graphical updates like that? Or do you think the game's just kind of the way it looks now, that's the way it's going to stay? Or do you think they'll kind of define it more with each update/patch?
I'm probably not the best person to comment because I've been wrong 3 times. But,
what I know is in this update, in the 1.5, is a lot of, online. Because I want to play with a lot of friends, because it's such a big game,
I think that
I'm sure the graphics, an updated graphic patch is probably the last thing on their list, because the game looks good the way it is. They're probably more focused on multiplayer and adding all those extra features. I was just kind of curious if you guys thought we would at some point get kind of a next step update. You know what I mean?
Well, and if they're gonna bring player models in and synchronous co-op, and we can see each other and fly next to each other and all that kind of stuff, they're gonna have to be able to optimize the game the way that it is now with those new features. So I don't see them doing both at the same time. They'll probably bring more co-op features, and then in another update, maybe some graphic enhancements.
But they always improve terrain and things like that with every single update. And I think he even mentioned that's one of the things that they like to do.
Yeah,
I think that we're going to get what do you call it? I think that we're going to get like proper water, like actual like moving dynamic water.
You know, that is what I hear from so many people about the water. Like Dave Langer's a big like fan. I mean, he's every game that I've ever played, you know, streaming or whatever. He's like, look at the water though. I wish they'd bring that water to No Man's Sky. So many people are talking about the water, and I totally agree. Like they got to get that. They got to get it flowing and realistic looking.
And just to touch on that, like, so I'm working on a video right now, so keep an eye out for it. That's going to be talking about that kind of stuff. But Ines McKenna at the GDC conference in 2017, she admitted that they tried to do dynamic water. The game's engine is capable of doing it, but it uses considerable resources. And when you have just 6 people working on this game at any given moment, there's not enough people to really like work on that feature. But she specifically said that what they ended up doing was they just made the water like a sort of a texture in No Man's Sky, and that the plan moving forward was always to bring dynamic water to the game. So I'm thinking that might be in this next update, possibly. Because at the same GDC, Sean Murray talked about terrain improvements. Mm-hmm. So in 1.3, we got terrain improvements. Maybe in this one, we get the dynamic water.
And you know what comes with terrain improvements? A total reset.
Total reset.
Yeah, you're right. 100% right there.
That'd be fun stuff.
Buckle down, explorers.
Dude, I'm not
about
even
to get rocked.
I've hardly been doing anything on my base. My base is just.
I know.
You know, a reset is kind of like a giant tsunami for these hubs, man. Right. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes, it is. Yeah, it totally is. But you know what, man? I mean, so here's the thing: like the background of this story, as you know, sort of laid out with the last ARG, is that this is a simulation, and with each, you know, it's like moving from Windows 8 to Windows 10, right? A lot of stuff is going to change. It still kind of feels the same, but there's some optimization, and there's, you know what I mean? And so, like, we have to understand that we're playing this game. They've already basically outlined for us that this is a simulation that is subject to change with each update. I mean, that's the storyline. It's integral. So if you've built a huge base and it's like your home and it's been your home for 6 months, you know, you're playing a game that has no regard for that because you are making your home in the middle of a simulation that's subject to major updates. So some stuff is going to break, some stuff is going to be, you know, odd, and complete, you know, like with comm balls, you still find it periodically. I still find a comm ball floating out in the middle of space, and I'm like, you know, a little tear drops from my eyelid. You know, some sad soul. You know, that was where his base once resided. You know, and it's like, but that's the nature of the game. It's part of the game now. They've made it clear. So, you know, we just need to understand that when we build these massive, beautiful structures, that they're temporary.
Well, and what's even crazier is that like when the resets happen and the bases like get all jacked up, there is actually a guy. I listened to a podcast where this guy, he has a PhD in archaeology, and he's doing some type of paper on like virtual archaeology, and he has his own Twitter and stuff like that, and he goes through the old hubs, like where people like moved, like the Great Exodus from the Galactic Hub and all that. And he like excavates remnants. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was going to say,
Andrew. He's been on the show here. I had him come on the show, and he talked about what they were doing as far as the digital archaeology. It's a really good talk, and he's supposed to be coming back onto the show in about a month or two to talk about all of his findings. You know, everything that he's got a team. It's not just him. It's like 6 people or more, and he's the same guy that led the excavation for the Microsoft documentary where they dug up Atari games.
I remember that one. Yeah, I watched that on Netflix.
That's the same guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like this guy's legit. Like he's 40-something years old, like a PhD. Like this dude is a boss, and he's in No Man's Sky, like finding relics. It's wild.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff. If you guys can find it, it's down there somewhere, like around August of 2016, somewhere around there.
Skyrim has had some longevity. You just wait. You know, in 20 years, people are still going to be obsessing over No Man's Sky. You know,
Oh, this game will be talked about forever.
Yep.
Do you think No Man's Sky will ever land on the Switch, Nintendo Switch? Think it could run on there?
I got buddies
Probably not.
I got buddies that believe that this game was actually, you know, being that they're a mobile gaming company, you know, or were before No Man's Sky, that their end goal is to have No Man's Sky available on everybody's cell phone and you know, and iPads. And I'm like, oh gosh, no.
They may end up getting a No Man's Sky like game on one of those consoles, but if No Man's Sky never makes it to Switch, check out Morfight because it's still a really cool game and it's on Switch, iOS, and PlayStation 4.
Do you think they'll ever like consider making like a companion app that you can use on your phone with No Man's Sky?
They better. Come on, man. It's needed. It's needed.
To kind of keep track of all your missions, your quests, and you know, just.
How cool would that be, though? That's dreaming.
Yeah.
The No Man's Sky Amino app is enough for me. I think that's plenty good enough.
Yeah.
I just recently went back. I ended up getting a phone. I had an account over there, and I had to make a new one because I couldn't figure out what my login was and everything, or what email I used. So I'm back over there with a new profile, and it's good to be back over there. If anybody hasn't made an account, go to Google Play or iTunes or something like that, and download the Amino app and look for No Man's Sky Amino. It's a good.
It's just a good community. Everybody's positive and they just share their stuff and their bases and their discoveries, and there's like lore. They create their own stories. It's chill, man. I go there to kill time sometimes.
I agree.
And who developed that? Who was the lead on that one? Give him props.
I want to say it's Boyd Gaming and No Man's Sky Survival Guru that are the leads of the Amino Hub Amino, but the Amino app is just a community app. So there's different aminos for all kinds of different subjects, but there's a really good one for No Man's Sky.
Right.
Awesome.
It's like Discord.
It's like Discord for No Man's Sky or for whatever game
Well,
you decide.
no, right. It's just
It's gamer centric, you know?
Right. As Discord. Discord was created for gamers as well, with the idea that you could go on and create a group for whatever game you were playing. It didn't have to just be your own channel. And then then other people were like, oh, well, we could also do this and create a channel if you're a YouTuber or a Twitch or somebody else. It would give you another format to get people to come in and chat is the idea. So that's how a lot of these have been popping up. And some of the more successful ones, of course, are the ones that are easy to use because people get tired of Facebook and get tired of some of the other places where the money is being made within the app rather than, putting extra sponsors on what's called outside the app. Like if you get Discord, it'll ask you if you want to download a couple of these other things that are given as sponsor stuff. You can or you can't. It's up to you. But then Facebook, on the other hand, has got used to do that, and now everything's inside. Wherever you're at in Facebook, somebody's always suggesting you click on something or another.
Right.
So that's why you get away from Facebook or Twitter, stuff like that, because the amount of ads is overwhelming the amount of conversation that you're having, whatever it is you're bringing to your Discord.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Peaceful Gamer. I'm sorry, Grammy. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just I was in a group called Gamer Goddesses, and it was all female. That's all it was. It's just female players, or those who identify themselves as female as well. And they sent me a Discord invite about 3 years ago when it was just starting out. And so because I popped on there, they were all like, oh, we weren't they at first weren't offering it to everyone, and they were only offering it to groups that were already established. And then I started talking to one of the guys that was working there, and he's like, here, have a channel. And I'm like, I don't know what I'll do with this. So I didn't mind that for a long time before I started using it. It was only after I started getting more people that were like, oh, can we talk to you someplace? I'm like, sure. Go to Discord.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. I get a lot of invites to the Anemo.
Amino.
Yeah. Thank you.
Peaceful Gamer, I just real quick, I want to add that on his Twitter account, he's pinned the tweet with the form to fill out on his profile. So the form for the Atlas passes and everything like that. So he's
awesome.
He said he pinned it. It's right at the top. So if you're interested, go check that out.
There are two things. There are two places that there's. I think the No Man's Sky community is really, really active, and I hardly, I went a year without hearing any of it. The first place is obviously Twitter. Myself and lots of the people that are on this show right now, and a bunch of other people that we pay attention to. Are on Twitter, constantly tweeting. Twitter does a lot better job, by the way, of when you post like a screenshot, it just looks a lot better. I'm not sure what they're using to compress photos or screenshots or whatever.
It's much better.
But people's
screenshots,
people's screenshots look so much better. You get a lot more crisp and clarity and color variation. Facebook has a tendency to like really compress the hell out of photos and just make them all. They just don't look as good. And the other place that, I moved my channel over to Twitch, and, myself and Iceman Third ID and Boondock, we all moved over to Twitch because of, the YouTube drama that was going on. And what we discovered when we got there was that there is a relatively large No Man's Sky community that's been kind of like huddled in, nestled, so to speak, in Twitch. And so if you have a Twitch account and you want to go meet new No Man's Sky players that have been playing since day one, just like the rest of us, there's a whole lot of them out there, and they're very involved with their communities over there. And we got welcomed as No Man's Sky players and No Man's Sky streamers. We got welcomed with open arms, man. Such a positive community. And so I want to shout out to guys like Stretchy Cat and Mel, you mentioned earlier, Panda. Just awesome people that are very active. And there's Genetic Code, who's over there doing a lot of stuff. And there's a ton of people that are over there streaming No Man's Sky on a daily basis, have huge communities that follow them, 1,500, sometimes more than that. I mean, No Man's Sky is relatively small in the first place, but you go over there and it's like everybody's real tight knit. They support each other. They come watch you when you stream. It's real easy to go. I mean, I think I had like 5 people following me on Twitch to, I've been on there for 2 weeks. I've got, 86 people, the majority of which are No Man's Sky people. They're constantly like communicating with me through the whispers and all the other little ways you can communicate on Twitch. Fantastic community. So I just want to throw a shout out to all those guys because they get kind of overlooked because YouTube is a big thing. But there's people that are discovering things. Vitamin R is another one that Vita R. How do you say it? I don't know how to say it. Everybody has crazy names, but the point is that you jump into somebody's chat, you see that there's like 10 or 15 people watching them. You're going to meet all these people, and they're going to introduce you to all these other people. And it's such a networking place. It's a fantastic place, man. Twitch has really been a positive environment to get involved in. So that's my rant about Twitch. But if you haven't tried it yet. And
what I've noticed about Twitch as well is it seems like it's more of a pure platform with gaming streaming, and everybody's like, I don't know, it's dope. Like I started part of my channel over on Twitch, and I'm probably going to start being more active on it just to test it out and stuff. But it's really cool. But if you guys go to Twitch, check out Boondock Gaming, Iceman Third ID, Colt. Check out all those guys. #POT, Pricks of Twitch. You know what I'm saying? But
are you able to stream to both at the same time?
Yeah, use like Restream.
Yeah, you can use a Restream. It's called Restream. Yeah, I do it all the time.
And you can do it with Facebook and Daily Motion and a couple of the other more Mixer, a couple of the other littler ones. You can just stream them all in one. That's my goal for this year, is to get my PC, and then I'm going to stream that.
Like you can stream to 2 different ones for free, but if you want to go above that, you have to like pay a monthly subscription or something.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
It's not too much though. So
it's 3.
So is Restream software or is it?
It's a website where it's basically broadcasts your stream to multiple platforms.
Yeah.
But instead of putting in extra bandwidth or anything, it just kind of puts it to both.
Exactly. So instead of putting your stream code in OBS for YouTube, you do it into Restream, and it does all the work for you.
Yeah. So you stream it to Restream, and then they stream that to the different platforms.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. You can do Mixer.
Cool.
Mixer. YouTube. I think the base like unpaid version is Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch simultaneously.
Yeah.
And who knows how many people are streaming over there on Mixer? That's what I'm curious about. I haven't even explored Mixer yet.
There's a few.
I can't get it to work on my
I've been on
computer.
Mixer recently because I recently
It freezes
picked up
my
an Xbox.
computer.
It would be
Mixer
no
does.
man.
Restream is that it has its like own built-in chat, and it will show like the chat and the comments from all of the platforms you're on. So when I'm streaming, I can
you
see,
serious?
Like, I can read like the Twitch chats and the YouTube chats. It all goes into one spot, and then you can just broadcast that little chat box on your stream, and they'll show up on your video. So it's pretty easy. It works pretty well.
Yeah,
I've been
I
using
have
it for like 2 years.
as well. I have a Twitch channel, but I don't do No Man's Sky there. I do because most of the people that watch my No Man's Sky watch it on YouTube. I do other games like Destiny 1, and I get quite a few people that pop in to see Destiny 1. And I'm going to start Battleborn, I think, and I'm going to put that on Twitch. And I'm trying to get up to where I'm doing 3 days a week on Twitch, and 3 days a week on 3 days or more of YouTube. And then when I get the computer, I'm going to put Mixer into the bunch, and then eventually just be able to stream all my games in one whack on those 3.
Yeah.
That's my plan for this year. We'll see if I get there.
Another benefit of Restream is, well, the way I have it set up is I have all my like live streams set to like unlisted once they upload to YouTube, because they just do it automatically. I have it set to unlisted. But since I stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, like if I want to cut out a clip or something, I can just go to Twitch, make a little, little clip or whatever, then upload that to YouTube as like a VOD.
Yeah,
so it's kind of an easy way to just kind of cut it out and not have to like download the whole file or have to worry about like recording it to your computer. You can just kind of chop up the clips over on Twitch, then export it to YouTube. So it's kind of a cool feature.
Clipping is a big deal on Twitch, so if you can get your handle on that. Also, Grammy, I would totally recommend just hopping into, just do like a couple of No Man's Sky streams on Twitch, like solely, and see what happens. I guarantee you, people are gonna like show up to your stream. Genetic Code's in the chat right now. He's all humble and such,
Yeah.
But there's there's a bunch of people here. They're under different names, and they have their Twitch channels over there, and they pay attention to what goes on your show, Cobra, and that's what they talk about in their chats. And they just kind of get overlooked because YouTube is obviously just a well-known platform,
It's a monster.
And it is a monster. And so to be able to focus kind of like on the gaming aspect and the community building aspect without having to worry about keeping up with all the content uploads. I mean, if you like streaming, it's the place to be. Although they will be introducing, the content upload piece pretty soon. Yeah. And by the way, just so you know, like you get 50 followers, and they have these achievements. It's almost like a video game, right? You get achievements for doing certain things, and what they're trying to do is teach you how to stream to where not only they make money, but you can make a piece of that pie too, right? You can eat a piece of that pie. And so they bring you through like all these different achievements. Like you've streamed a certain number of hours per week, and you've had a certain number of people watching you stream during the process, and a number of people have been simultaneously chatting in your chat and all this stuff. And then so like within a week and a half, me and Boone made affiliate, and so therefore got monetized, right? And and that was crazy. All of a sudden, like I'm handing my W-2 over to Amazon so that they can potentially pay me in the future if I continue down this route and become, but it's like that. As long as you follow the terms of service, which by the way, the difference is like I start my stream by having some music going, and they'll just if it's copyright protected, they'll just mute it. They don't take away, like you still get the ad before it's not demonetized. They just mute it. So if somebody watches it later on, it's just muted. It's not demonetized necessarily. It will get demonetized if you break the terms of service, which they're very clear is like violence and sexual content and all this sort of stuff. The stuff you would expect.
Right.
But they give you the freedom, and you'll watch these guys that have like 3,000 followers, and there's 75 people in the chat continuously, and they're streaming music the whole dang time. You know, Rolling Stones and freaking, you know, Alice in Chains, whatever they want, you know, the whole time. And they're still getting a little piece of that, you know, as long as the people are there, they're communicating, you're getting a piece of that pie, and you can set your whole channel up to be lucrative. So if you're interested in trying to, you know, pay for your video game habit, Twitch is probably your best bet if you're trying to make it stream it anyway. I promise it's not a paid
platform has like its ups and downs, like its negatives. But
I mean, if you stream PUBG, you're gonna get a toxic chat room. You know, if you stream No Man's Sky, you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna find them. You're always gonna find those toxic.
I wish I can actually agree to that one, but sadly I can't.
Yeah.
Why?
You get toxic. I'm really excited for.
I get a lot of people. Well, at least on YouTube, I had a lot of people when I was streaming No Man's Sky for a long time, from release till pretty much up until the day that I left.
Haters. You're talking about.
Oh
haters.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I still get a little bit of that depending on, but it's mainly from people who I know. So they just do that just to take the piss. But a lot of people, like, there still is a lot, and I mean a lot of people that will never understand why myself and many others in this community that actually are still hooked to this game. And no matter if you you can sit there and lay it out in like a Bible form and explain everything as to why we love this game so much. And they always reply back with, the game's still shit. It sucks. That's all they say, man. All the lies. It always goes back to the freaking lies, man. But you know what? You know what I've been doing lately, though, man? Just to mess around with them. Anytime when you have somebody that sits there and tells you, you know, about all the lies and Sean Murray, whatever you want to call it, just refer them to, just ask them if they bought Destiny, the first Destiny game, all right? Because that game, believe it or not, folks, that's a prime example of a game that suffered similar structure. There's a little bit of lies that went on between that game with Bungie, falsely advertising, showing things off in trailers, saying things that were never included in the game, whatever the case may be. So anytime when you hear somebody or you see somebody in the community that tells you, that always refers to the Sean Murray lies, ask them if they played Destiny. If they say yes, then right there on the spot, that person can hold that L because they're already bought a game that already suffered from the exact same thing. Period.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Not from but mind you, it's not from a grand scale to say what happened with Hello Games, but still, a lie is a freaking lie, people. There's no way around it.
Well, with Sean Murray, he never lied because in 2014 he said the game's not going to be finished at launch. So it's
speaking of that, real quick, and there's something. This is something that's kind of important. I want people to understand. 6 months prior to the launch, right before the 2-month delay, whatever you want to call it, because I think it was originally supposed to come out in July. I think it was, and then they got pushed till August.
Yeah.
I remember that there was a thread on NeoGAF, and I was trying to find it the other day, but I think it got deleted after all the NeoGAF debacle went down several months ago. There was a thread that was related to a podcast that Jim Sterling did 6 months prior to the release of No Man's Sky, and I remember vividly that he said in the podcast that he spoke to somebody that worked at Hello Games, and they openly admitted and stated that the game was not running very well on the PS4 with the current engine that they were currently using at the time. That whole entire thing never went widespread. It never went on any other site. It was only on that article. I've ever seen this article within that podcast itself that Jim Sterling did. I have to go back and look at, I forget what site he uploads the audio files, but if I can find it, I'll definitely give you the link to it, Cobra. So
yeah, definitely.
Video-wise.
Definitely. I wanted to give a big shout out to Ivy and Mike. He said that he purchased one of our show shirts here. One of the new ones.
Awesome. He was wearing it.
Huh?
He was wearing it and took a picture of it. It was pretty cool.
Really? Oh man, somebody give me a link to that. I want to see that. That's pretty cool, man. Thank you, Ivy Mike. I appreciate that, dude. Really do. Touches me from the bottom of in the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you so much.
Somebody else put in your chat too as well.
To continue about the previous subject, I got some friends who bought the game in the beginning, and in one day they returned it to the store. So, and I still defend the game till this day. So, and secondly, I think Sony itself has a hand in the early release of No Man's Sky.
100%.
Why it is the way it was when it released.
Let me say something. No Man's Sky is a small development company that Sean Murray admitted a year before the game even came out that there was ever only 6 people actively programming on the game at any given time.
Yeah.
They made the largest console game ever in terms of size and the amount of places that you can go and within a procedural engine that no one else had even tapped into yet. And everybody treated them like dog shit. Yep. And what really upsets me about that is if you look at every other major title that gets shown at E3, do you guys really believe that Anthem is going to look like how they showed it? Did Ghost Recon Wildlands look like they said it was going to look? The games never looked the same. Everybody went off on Sean Murray. They went off on Hello Games, and they picked on the little guy. They all bullied the little indie development studio, and Sony got none of the backlash. But they're the ones who pressured Hello Games to release an unfinished product. Yep. And it's crap.
You know, it's funny because I was just thinking about that before I popped in here there, Cobra. And I was like, you know, if Sony would have actually gave them an extra 6 to 9 months, the game would have been what we have today. Guarantee it. I agree. You know, and there's so many things around that. I don't know if it was so much Sony. Because like in 2014, like, you know, it's the best quote that you could give anybody coming around saying that Sean lied. It's a GameSpot interview where he said a lot of things are possible in No Man's Sky. Not everything will be possible when the game ships, but I have a feeling we're going to be working on this game for a very long time. That's immediate disclosure right there. Why say it more than once? It was said once. And if anybody says he lied, it is void by listening to that one sentence in 2014. Now, right? Here's the second thing is a lot of these people that are on the internet, that were on the internet back then, Sean Murray would say, hey, it's a nice day outside. And people would say, release your game. You know, and then the threats, a lot of people would also say, that's right. Yeah, a lot of people would also say, I don't care if it's not finished. I just want to start playing it now. Release it. I'll play it even if it's not finished. Well, that's exactly what happened. You know? Yeah. They released it unfinished because there was so much pressure. Maybe some of it was from Sony, but a lot of it was from the community. The people who were following the game, who wanted who Sean couldn't even speak at E3 without getting bashed about not releasing this game. Heck, when it was going to be delayed, Kotaku got death threats. Sean Murray and Hello Games got death threats. So much so that he had, according to Ines from one of her talks at a conference, said that Sean Murray had to safeguard the entire team and move them out. Now, if you go back on Reddit a long time ago, somebody literally went to the studio and took pictures at night and took pictures through the window. And it was empty. It was vacant. People were saying, see, look, they left. They took the money and ran. Well, it's the creepiest picture I've ever seen because it's like a moment caught in time. Inside, you could see directly through the window, and there is champagne bottles, celebration stuff all over the place. Half drinking champagne bottles, cups, champagne glasses, all that everywhere. And it was just put down immediately, and they left. Didn't even bother cleaning up, didn't even bother taking the bottles of champagne with them. The death threats were that crazy. Yeah. And Inez said that, you know, one of his quotes that he said is that I don't even know exactly to this day what even happened, but Sean Murray had to safeguard us, and he did a good job at it. So what a weird time. You know, it's like, I can't even think if there's ever another type of situation that is that severe. I really don't. You know, what the irony in that is, there's two things that I see as a common thing that goes on in this community when it comes to anybody that hates on this game, right? Was mainly the multiplayer aspect. I mean, outside before the lies came out and before that big list of whatever the case may be, which 90% of it is now in the game for the record. Oh, and by the way, just real quick, sorry, chat, I do have a bad habit of talking really fast, and I'm going to try to slow this one down a little bit. No, stop. That's one of the things I love about you, man. That's don't stop doing that, please. Thank you. But anyways, just to quickly bring this up real fast, the multiplayer thing. Yes, he did say that you would be able to see other players, but a lot of people went into this game day one and thought that there was going to be a full-fledged multiplayer, right? But yet what they don't know is because the video they always point to the most is either the actual Colbert Report one that he did that he was on, or the most infamous one being the actual Game Informer 100 random ass questions that was asked. Excuse my language, by the way. But yet here's the funny thing, right? That video came out 3 months after he did the one where GameSpot, not GameStop, sorry. GameSpot did that little 2-part coverage of everything about No Man's Sky. And in that same video on GameSpot, 2 months prior to the actual Game Informer interview, he specifically says in that interview, the video is still up on YouTube to this very given day, that the full-fledged multiplayer was going to be implemented after launch.
Right.
Nobody said a word. Nobody said anything, and nobody ever points to that video. And that video came out before the Game Informer.
That's the same one. It's the same one. It's actually GameSpot that did it. Mm-hmm. He said that we have plans for a more traditional multiplayer later down the road. That's something that they're excited about, but they're not ready to talk about.
Exactly.
So,
Dude.
But the second thing I wanted to bring up real quick.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Just super quick. Was the fact that if you notice that after, like, before the game got delayed the first time around for July, it was supposed to come out in July, I never heard a peep. I went on so many sites, nobody was covering this game, nobody was talking about it outside from a few little websites here and there, just talking about like things like interviews with Sean and so on and so forth, right? It wasn't until, because remember at the time when I first came across your channel, Cobra, I was making that series, My Love for No Man's Sky. And it was like a 4-part series or a 3-part series video that I did on my YouTube channel. And at that time, nobody was talking about this game. Everybody forgot, because after the first year that game was announced, Sony stopped pushing that game on the show floor. They stopped it. They barely talked about it, whatever the case may be, outside from like insider interviews and whatever the case may be. But it wasn't until after the first delay is when magically the hype appeared out of nowhere. And I think a lot of people went into this game not knowing what to expect, even though Sean said numerous times that even he himself couldn't even explain the game to people at all, period. And so people went into this game expecting a full-fledged multiplayer, was expecting this game to be some amazing experience, right? But yet those people that hyped themselves up for this game had no clue going into exactly what the hell they were actually getting into in the first place. They hyped it up for their own reasons. And now they're bashing a small, tiny company, but yet they give Bungie a free pass when Bungie does it with Destiny 1. But no, a small indie team? Nope, has to be crucified. Makes no sense.
You know what happened to Mass Effect Andromeda when everybody complained about it and said it was crap?
Another game is a prime example.
All they did was they announced they were ending the franchise. And here's another thing. Dude. So my job, I'm a business manager. I make a lot of recommendations on companies reorganizing, stuff like that, like structure, all that kind of stuff. Right on. If I was Sean Murray's business manager, what I would have told him after all of that stuff is I would have said, here's what you do. You become a silent partner at your own company. You change the name, you form a new LLC, and you keep developing games under a completely different flagship. You know what he did, though? He kept it as Hello Games, kept virtually the same team, and then even after 2 lawsuits got dropped, neither of which he was found guilty for, he continued to work on the updates. So anybody that says he's a liar or he's full of shit or they'll never believe him, they can go ahead and 2-step out the goddamn door, because he didn't have to do any of it. He had his money. He didn't have to do any of it.
Exactly.
And you know what the best part about that is, at the end of the day, though, is that everybody wanted him to come out on record and make this big apology, whatever the case may be. And here's what I have to say to that. Even if he did, what would have that done for you as a person that would have felt justifiable? You would have easily forgot that about that whole entire apology of him coming out on record and apologizing 2 days after the fact. However, I'd rather have him and his team come out with the content, and so far they've been doing a damn good job of doing that. That's my apology right there from them.
Well, ask yourselves this question. Would the community be like it is today? Would the community be this strong if he came out and apologized and said anything?
No, because he could have easily came out, apologized.
The people that loved the game for what it was took ownership, got together, and said, you know what? This is the game that we wanted. We're going to figure out some way to get the features that we thought we were going to get, and we're going to enjoy this game for what it is. And then Sean Murray saw that, recognized that, and that motivated him to continue developing and working on the game. Because I'm telling you right now, he could have retired in Tahiti with that money he made.
Yep. That's how Cobra met me. That's how Cobra met me. He met me when I was defending this game back at launch.
Yeah. This is the first video I ever seen. I'm like, oh my God, this dude's just getting berated with a bunch of hate.
Yep.
And, you did a good job standing your ground, but I'm surprised you didn't bite their heads off. And I'm like, I wish I was on that call with him. I really would.
There was a lot of at the time when the game came out and then that big list came out and then everything went to pretty much basically SHIT. I just sat there. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this when I start streaming this game again. And believe me, I did. I got so much hate. It was bad. But No Man's Sky is going to be one of those games that's forever, and it's never going to get taken off of my system ever. No matter how much space I run out, No Man's Sky will always be the first game. Let's say if my system dies, I buy myself a new one. That's the first game I'm downloading on my system. I will never delete that game ever because I know I'm glad that I stuck with that actual game. And look what happened. Yeah. It paid off for me in the long run.
It doesn't get a super amount of hate these days. It really
not as much. No, it's kind of died down a lot.
It's kind of
not anywhere. Yeah.
I mean, so essentially what happened from my perspective is that when they rolled it out on PC, it was just very poorly optimized and people were unclear what the specs they needed were, right?
Yeah.
And Steam is one of those big places that like people pay attention to reviews, and it got like a swarm of negative reviews, and then that propagated throughout, the entire gaming world essentially, that it was just a bunch of crap, and so every little Tom, Dick, and Harry that wandered around for the next few months, like just criticizing everybody because they felt like it became clear to them that there were PC players, because the PS4 launch was pretty darn good. I mean, it was without after they rolled out the first patch, second patch, or whatever, it leveled out pretty good. But that's
after
the same
for
crashes.
Yeah, it definitely that was the main issue I had with the game at launch, was the constant crashing on PS4.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Right. Yeah, but think about this though. No Man's Sky, before Elite Dangerous came to PlayStation 4, No Man's Sky had no competition on PlayStation 4. Yep. So if you wanted a game like that, that was your only option. On PC, it's a different story, and I understand the argument more on PC.
Yep.
But on PlayStation,
it's a dead argument now. It's a dead argument now.
Pretty much.
All right, we get the occasional person who comes in. Man, I've seen on Boondock streams so many times where people come in and they end up like actually subscribing or following his channel, because Boone, you know how Boone is, like he'll give him a heart, he'll bring the hammer down. And
can somebody turn that off? I'm gonna get a copyright. Yeah, Star Trek. Turn that off.
Fuck it, see. Sorry.
That's okay.
Boone has a tendency to bring the hammer down on folks, and what's so funny watching like how he reacts to trolls is that he hammers them in such a way that for whatever ungodly reason they end up like subbing his channel or following his channel on Twitch, and they end up becoming like a regular part of the community. And then they're like, you know what? I'm gonna try
He converts them.
He converts them.
Nice.
By a little bit of badgering, a little bit of badgering, a little bit of a quick-wittedness, and then bam, they're a new.
Dude, it's like 50 shades of Boone. I was on a Twitch.
That is so genius.
I was on one of his YouTube streams, and a guy came in there and like tried to plug his channel or something, and like Boondock like handled up. I suspended, like timed the guy out because I'm like a mod on. I think everybody's a mod on Boone's YouTube, but like I suspended the guy, and I was like, hey, I'm just suspending him because I made this mistake before too when I was but a wee channel as well. And so Boondock like went off. Then he was like, but I still love you though. And then the guy like, that's why people sub. It's 50 Shades of Boone. He'll beat you up and tell you he loves you.
Exactly. Exactly. Brings him right into the fold, and then we just kind of mold him as mods, on all of our. And that dude ended up like following over to Twitch and like hanging out with it. And I don't even like whatever his name is on Twitch, I was the guy that you hammered the other. Okay, and then we forget about it and we move on because like really ultimately, if you've got a nice convert here that he ended up going and buying the game and yada yada yada, whole big long story. I mean, most of these people that come in, they're having a bad day. They're just talking crap, and they come in and they're just, spouting off a bunch of stuff, and it's just you just get them where it hurts, and then watch the community sort of envelop them, bring them in, and supposedly, dude enjoys No Man's Sky now, and I've seen that happen multiple times on all of our channels, on Ice's channel, my channel, Boone's channel. It's all. It's an amazing thing, and I don't see nearly the kind of trolls that I was getting like when I was over the summertime when we were waiting for the updates.
Yep.
It's
well, you know why I think that is like, because go ahead, Cobra. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's like it seemed like a lot of that just kind of went away after Atlas Rises. It's almost like they were embarrassed to even come around and do it because the game was improved so much.
Because Atlas Rises was that first year reboot. It was after that first year reboot. Like that game, like No Man's Sky is drastically changed immensely. Like the flow of the game now and the way everything works now, dude, is so different from what it was vanilla wise. It's amazing how far this game has come.
Right.
But yet it's still No Man's Sky. It's amazing. I love it.
Beautiful game.
Guys, we've got somebody sitting on the call patiently, and it's Sorg. Sorg, how you doing, buddy? Sorry it took me so long to get to you. How you doing, man?
It's okay, bro.
I apologize for that.
No, please, no.
Yeah, Grammy?
I'm going to go ahead and get off right now.
Okay.
It was great talking to y'all, you guys. I get really tired lately. So,
good night, Grammy.
Love you, Grammy.
Good night, Grammy. I miss you.
I will talk to you guys in probably another month or so. I'll try to get on again. Thursdays are family night, so I can't get on Thursdays. So.
Oh, okay.
But bye, chat, and goodbye, Cobra, and
bye, Grammy.
Good night, Grammy.
Good night, Grammy.
Bye, Grammy.
In a stream someplace, I'm sure. Bye.
Love you, Grammy. Good night.
Thank you for coming on, Grammy. Guys, I'm going to go refill my coffee, so go ahead and head the show for a couple of minutes.
Okay, sir.
Just don't get me banned. No. I'll be right back.
Copyrighted music already lined up, ready to go.
Yeah, right. There we go.
So let me ask you guys a question.
For
I want to ask everybody on the panel and everybody that's in the actual chat room now. I want to ask you guys a question. So what kept you guys invested when the ongoing controversy at launch was going on? What kept you motivated to keep playing No Man's Sky?
Because I didn't give a shit, number one.
Good answer. I love that.
It's a beautiful fucking game, period.
It is.
I mean, there's just no way around whichever way you look at it. I mean, that's my
if I'm being honest, I felt very lonely in the game because even though multiplayer is not a big factor in any game that I buy, it's something that I half expected to be there.
Yes.
And so the game got bashed really hard. And then I felt that there wasn't really a lot of people playing and I was sort of exploring alone. And there was like a moment of sadness. I'm not trying to be like all emo, but then I was on YouTube and I came across Just Jared going to the hub and just his excitement when he'd come across planets and come across animals. And I was like, hey, there's a community out there. And then I saw Boondock do a video on his Hub Life series and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, holy shit. Like this is actually a thing. Like there's people doing this. And then next thing I know, I'm like, dude, this game rocked. There's people playing. I can share my discoveries. And it's the community that's kept me going.
For me, it was like the opposite effect, having all the haters. Like, honestly, if this game would have launched and would have been a big success and everybody would have been saying good things about it, I probably would have stayed away. Because for me, I like playing games that everybody hates on.
The Rebel.
Story. I like that.
I like that mentality, sir.
So like, if people came in and they were like, "No Man's Sky is great," I probably would have stayed away from it. Like Monster Hunter.
I think you hit on a core thing right there.
But I love it when games are like people just kind of throw them to the wayside. That's when I started getting interested. I'm like, I'm going to give this little game a chance, you know. So I got it on PC eventually. I started playing, and I was perfectly happy with just the vanilla version. Like, honestly, I didn't even care about the next updates. I haven't even explored everything that the updates have to offer. Like, I haven't even completely built my base or bought a freighter or even completed the storyline or got to the center. I'm just happy exploring, and now there's all these quests. But yeah, initially it was that hate that brought me to the game. So
that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting aspect. I dig that response, man.
Yeah, that's
cool.
I love.
I hate jumping on the bandwagon. Like, everyone's like, "This game's
great."
great." I probably would have stayed away. I'm like, you know what? They can play it. I'm just kind of the hipster that kind of likes stuff that everybody else dislikes.
Hey, you're just
like
me.
Brought me to the game,
sir. I play a lot of obscure stuff, and even games that people would consider to be "quote unquote" crap.
That's why I like indie games. Like, I can have more fun playing an indie game than playing like a AAA Call of Duty game. You know what I mean?
The only game
absolutely.
I tortured myself with that would fall into that category, but that actually turned out to be utter crap was Life of Black Tiger. And I'm not going to speak about that. But for me personally, as far as No Man's Sky goes, what kept me invested into it outside of all the actual hate that I received in my chat when I was streaming it was the lore. The lore in No Man's Sky, like I think wasn't it the dude that wrote the Watchmen comics or something like that helped write the actual lore in No Man's Sky?
No. William Porter is the person responsible for all the lore.
He did an amazing job. He did.
The guy that did Watchmen comic books, he's the one that just wrote the comic book. The rest of the lore was all William Porter. I think he actually did. The guy who did Watchmen did provide some lore for the game, but 90%, like most of the biggest chunk of it, was William Porter.
Well, if you guys haven't seen that like little comic book that comes with the special edition version or whatever, I have scanned pages, like Google Doc, like all of it, and like I recommend you guys check that out because it's pretty dope.
I really want to read that because I heard
it's awesome.
I couldn't find it online. I was like, damn it!
But there's a story of a Gek taking a Korvax that's like to a monolith. Yeah, it's really dope. It's awesome.
But the other one that was done by
I found go on.
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
Well, first of all, I saw the E3 2014 No Man's Sky trailer, so I go on YouTube and search for information, and the first that I found was Cobra. So I see a lot of his videos. So immediately I was intrigued by the game because I love space games. So I immediately pre-ordered the game. And since then, I love it. I really do. No hate, nothing at all, and just play like my heart content.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Same here, buddy. Same here. The other story that's in the novel, there's like a little mini novel.
What?
It comes with the collector's edition.
I got that.
Yeah. And
I need to find these.
There's an explorer that's trapped on a planet, and he's got his crash ship. It's almost like how survival mode starts, but it's about him trying to survive the Sentinels, and the Sentinels in this story are extremely dangerous. And it's a really, really, really super good story. I actually have a recording of me doing an audiobook reading of it. I just never
I'm gonna watch
uploaded it because I have to reread it because it's just horrible. Yeah.
Well, as soon as that's up, because I want to hear that, man. Because
you've got a radio voice. You're the Morgan Freeman of No Man's Sky.
Right. There you go. There you go. And I don't know what it was, but like the lore, like just learning about the Korvax and learning about the Gek and the Viking and the Sentinels, but mainly what really pushed over for me was everything about Nada and Polo. Nada and Polo to this very given day are still my two favorite NPCs in the entire.
I love them, and I don't trust them as far as I can see them.
No Man's Sky, like they're so mysterious, and I know something deep down inside tells me though, Cobra, and everybody that's in this chat right now, I know for a fact that they're going somewhere with those two characters. They're going somewhere. That anomaly is not just there to randomly appear for the traveler every once in a while. No, they have a purpose to be in there. They kind of hinted at it before 1.3 dropped. And I think they're going somewhere with that, man. I think I'm telling you, man. Mark my words. Not a Polo.
So so Sean Murray has said before that he has a program that essentially dispatches like drones, so to speak, throughout the No Man's Sky universe to look for anomalies and problems within the game.
Right.
And I think that Nada and Polo, from a lore perspective, like represent that aspect. For Sean Murray,
that's cool. Yeah,
they go through the simulation and they're looking for problems. That's why they're always asking about your exosuit and always wondering how well you can survive.
Give you upgrades for doing certain tasks.
And check this out. Before 1.3, that door to the left, you couldn't access. And there's that door at the back of the space anomaly that we can't access. And I have a feeling in 1.4 or 5, it's gonna open. I almost used a curse word. It's gonna open, and there's gonna be something there. And I don't know.
What do you think? Yeah, but the question is, what is that? What do you think is going to be in that room, though?
I think that, dude, maybe I'm tinfoiling extra hard here, but I think when the update drops, one of the first things that's going to happen is that we're going to get a notification that there's a space anomaly. Every player is going to get it that's in their system. And we're going to fly up the space anomaly, and we're going to have to talk to Polo. And Polo is going to say, after all the data that you've transmitted, we've developed an exosuit upgrade. And then the door is going to open, and that's going to be your player model screen where you get to customize your character.
Oh,
dude, no,
please, right now.
Wow.
Getting wood in my pants, dude. Stop it.
Hire this guy.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Because as far as I guarantee you, that's what that mirror reference was all about.
Oh, yeah.
Something tells me, man, because like I said, they were hammering home on that, dude, for like this being like the first little part for the multiplayer. Then the next one is supposed to be like the co-op sync one. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, if we have the ability to, which would obviously make sense, that's why we constantly keep seeing different types of travelers all over the place. That's what we're going to be able to choose from. What we're seeing is like those holographic images of those travelers that we talk to interact and go get our glyphs, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be able to customize our characters to make it look like one of those actual travelers. And there's tons of them.
We're going to get to pick our species, and we're going to get to pick our exosuit.
Yep.
You're freaking hyping me. Stop.
I love.
I'm sorry.
Chat is full of chumps.
This guy the most though, right? Is when people come up with like these tinfoil ideas. I'm sorry using your word there, but it's a genius idea because a lot of these ideas could very well be true because it makes sense to the world and the lore of No Man's Sky. Y'all, I'm telling you,
yeah,
genius.
I'm crying.
What if it's just Sean Murray sitting in a chair and he has a red pill and a blue pill?
Oh boy! Oh boy!
By the way, Cobra.
Yeah.
A long time ago, you had a video about the fourth race. When do you think that's gonna come?
Oh, we've already seen it. The Travelers.
Right.
Dun dun dun.
Yep.
They're already in the game, dude.
Yep. We are the fourth race.
I haven't.
The Travelers, we are the fourth race.
Now, what I want to put on the screen real quick, it is the book, and I'm surprised a lot of people don't know about it. It's called Ashes in Iron, and it's by James Swallow. I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. Oh, it's an amazing story, And there's the cover of it.
Hashtag spin the chair. Oh my! One thing that always perplexed me though about anything in relations to No Man's Sky was that room in certain space stations that actually look like a what do you call it there? Like a holographic planet with a red orb. Looks like a sun going around it.
The Death Star.
Or something. Did anybody ever actually crack the code on what exactly the hell that was? Or is that a hint or something for a future?
I think it represents the Gek homeworld.
The Gek homeworld?
No, that's no moon. It's a space station.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing
Homeworld did not have a red star. It was Corvax Prime who had a red star.
That's it. Yep.
So maybe that's what it was.
Corvax Prime.
But you know the part that really blew me away the most though, Cobra, when it comes to the lore related to the Gekmen is how they enslaved the Korvax. That segment, Monolith, learning about that, if you want to call it, blew me the hell away, dude.
My favorite story of all of the lore is the Viking story. They had a civil war. They had it was just it was amazing.
Herc. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Down to Herc. Now is the true prophet.
Yep.
Down to Herc.
Yes.
So hey, Cobra, real quick, did I ever tell you my little idea that I would have loved to see for a full-on fledged multiplayer mode?
What's that?
No Man's Sky, where basically like when you go into the multiplayer mode, you choose your character, whatever the case may be, but you choose one of the factions, and like the faction, no matter what galaxy you go to, the faction is split. Kind of think of it like the way they have it in Elite Dangerous to an extent, But like the whole entire galaxy is split, right? Almost like quadrants. One quadrant is sectioned off for all Gek planets or Gek stars. One is Viking stars, and one is for Korvax, whatever the case may be, right? And with the multiplayer, you can play co-op however you want, as long as they're actually on the same faction as you. And basically, it's like a PvP kind of thing too, as well. If you happen to go into uncharted territory that belongs to a different faction, kind of thing, or you could buy your way in. Meaning that if you actually visit another actual thing, like let's say like you happen to go from you're on the Gek side and you go to the Korvax side, you can either do two things. Either you could pay like an actual fee for entering their actual sector, whatever the heck you want to call it. And if you don't pay that toll, people within that sector itself will be alerted. And it'll, like when you go to the actual galactic map, it'll pulsate on what actual star system it is that somebody could be very well starting just say random ass trouble in that galaxy kind of thing, or in not galaxy, but in that star system. So it was almost like an alert PvP kind of thing, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Really cool.
Yeah, it was just like an idea that I was thinking of the other day. Like, they actually had something like that. That would be awesome.
Have you ever played EVE Online?
No, but I do know of the game. Yes, my PC just couldn't run. My PC's like.
I think that No Man's Sky would benefit from an EVE Online setup. In terms of EVE Online has high sec, low sec, null sec, which is high security, low security, no security. And the no security systems could be, for No Man's Sky, are lawless systems unclaimed by any faction or government that are essentially PvP servers. I think that'd be a really good idea. So Hello Games, if you're watching, Panda has spoken.
That's probably what they are going to do, dude.
I like the idea, except that
multiplayer mode.
Except that it seems to go against the fundamental like storyline for, all the. As a matter of fact, they're kind of crossing. I mean, they admitted that early on they were going to have multiplayer. Okay, so they had to like sort of feed that desire for the community to have some sort of multiplayer. So there's going to be improved multiplayer. I think everybody agrees on that. But to have a straight up PvP where you don't have a choice, I don't think that's going to come to No Man's Sky, because it goes against what I feel is the
rules of the simulation.
That and just to be the lonely traveler, you start out alone. What if you what if you spawn in the midst of a freaking riot? Like, it goes against sort of like the way, I mean, we all started playing like that, right? There was no chance of us meeting anybody. Yeah. I think they're gonna maintain that somehow. The way Elite Dangerous does it is they split it up into, you can play by yourself against NPCs, you can play with friends, or you can just straight up be an open where everybody has a shot.
It's a free for all, yeah.
I mean, that's a very good point. But at the same time, remember, if we are part of a simulation within the galaxy of No Man's Sky, that can easily change. I mean, you think about it, the ARG kind of was actually alluding to that throughout the theme of the whole entire ARG, that the Atlas was getting updated.
But when it comes to PvP, I'm not a big fan of PvP. But the way that it works in EVE is that if you don't want to engage in a situation where you're going to be attacked by random players, you avoid null sec systems, because if a player misbehaves in a high sec system, then whatever the policing unit of that system is going to come handle up on that player.
That's how it works in No Man's Sky. I mean, in Elite Dangerous, though. I mean,
yeah, it does. Yeah, it does that a little bit. Yeah.
You've got systems that are designated at different levels of security. You're going to run into, like in open, for example, let's just say open, because what you're talking about is an open universe where as soon as you jump in, you have no real choice whether or not you can meet another player, right? I mean, am I wrong about what you're suggesting there?
No. So what I'm saying is that there'll just be certain systems that, like, when you open up your galactic map, that system will be classified as like a lawless or unclaimed system, and you'll know going in that there's the potential for havoc in that system. So if you're trying to get to a place, you can either get there by going through that system or bypassing that system. But just know that if you go in there, that it's a PvP potential free-for-all. And I think that would satisfy both ends, or what I think you're hinting to is maybe just better off as a separate mode. But
yeah, I think there'll be a separate mode because I don't think they're going to put that in as the into the actual main normal or survival because that would just take off a lot of players. So I think it's going to be a separate mode on a separate server itself with a whole entire separate set of like rules. Now, as far as co-op goes, at least if that is going to be like a big thing in the next update, I hope to God trading is going to be in there. Because if trading gets implemented into No Man's Sky, and that we'll be able to physically see people and interact with people, that is going to open up many, many doors in that game even more going forward. The community is going to open up shops. You're going to see bases that are just going to be nothing but a freaking shopping mall. Like it's going to be crazy.
Let me cut in here real quick. Kyle in the chat, he said he's got a Google Doc that has the Ashes and Iron story.
Oh, yeah. Please link that.
So Kyle, if you're still listening, or Peaceful Gamer, if you know how to get a hold of him real quick, if he's not still in the chat, could you please tweet me the link, and then I'll throw it in the chat here for everybody that didn't get a chance to read it, because I don't think that that edition, the limited edition, I don't think it's still available, right?
You can probably find used copies on eBay or something.
Yeah. It's
okay. Yeah.
I want to.
But if you guys could tweet it at me, then I'll just share the link in the chat here on YouTube.
Hersorb, or the guy from the Netherlands. What do you guys think is? What do you guys think multiplayer means for No Man's Sky? I'm curious because there's like 3 A-type personalities, and I haven't heard your opinions.
Well, I'm from the Netherlands. What I hope from the online aspect of the game is just multiplayer. Nothing more, nothing less. Because I have a lot of friends who I like to play with, but I can't find them right now.
Right. So you just want multiplayer, any version of multiplayer where you can link up with your friends.
Yeah.
Hersorb, do you think multiplayer is like because I made a video about this where I think the multiplayer is essential for the growth and ongoing support for No Man's Sky, and a lot of people disagree with me. Hersorb, do you think it's important for No Man's Sky to have a multiplayer focus right now?
I think it's not just important, but if we don't get multiplayer in this next update, everyone that doesn't play No Man's Sky, and even people who play No Man's Sky, will turn away and just stop playing the game. And like, there will be so less people in the community right now, because that's what most of us are waiting for. I'll still be playing the game though, but with not the same feels that I had before. And I think the best characteristics of multiplayer we should have is both co-op and PvP, because like the thing you can imagine from the PvP is having these 2 guilds. You have like the Empire of Hova and the Galactic Hub going to war over a system, over the bosses of a system who had a lot of plutonium or some other element that the both of them need, and they really want this system because of the resources, and they go to war. Just imagine like 16 ships on one side and 16 ships on the other side, just battling around this space station, and they are all players.
Herschel, you just blew the zipper off my pants.
Just to let everybody know, I posted the link into the chat. I'm also going to put it into the description right now.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Cobra. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, buddy.
Think about what multiplayer.
I will read that tonight before bed.
Maybe a stupid question, but I hear Sork talk about the Galactic Hub on PC, right? But does the PlayStation have one too?
Yeah,
it's going.
Yes. The PlayStation has the Galactic Hub, the Amino Hub, the No Man's Sky Love Hub, Empire of Hova. It's pretty much got everything the PC version has in terms of hub communities.
You ever wonder when Sean Murray came up with the idea to put base building into the game, right, and adding the ability for base sharing? You ever wonder if he actually foreseen the community doing something like the Galactic Hub?
They must have known what it was.
I don't think he did either, man. But the fact that he probably looked at that and he was like, "Well, shit, we got something going here."
when Sean Murray added base building to No Man's Sky, I don't even think that he even thought there was a human being on Earth like Boyd Gaming that can do what he does with bases.
Yes,
right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, even after like all the updates and whatnot, people like the community was finding ways to play the game their own way. You know what I'm saying? To like play with other people, whether it's like through streams, watching the same stream on YouTube or whatever, finding the same planets, or just, even before we had all the base building and whatnot, just think of how crazy it's going to get once we get like, two-player co-op or PvP. That is just going to drastically change everything. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have the option. You can just play solo. You don't have to play with people. You don't have to do PvP, anything like that. But just having that extra, multiplayer aspect is going to change things. Because we've been figuring it out.
The game didn't even have multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean,
the game didn't even have it
for the game.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
Giving us the tools, think how crazy it's going to be. And I'm sure there's going to be things that Sean Murray didn't even think were possible once he flips that switch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when they have multiplayer,
so crazy.
There's going to be a lot of
so many different things once they have the correct tools.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of people in the chat. I do think that like PvP should be its own mode, but like co-op should be across everything. Including the PvP mode itself, people that want it.
Yes.
Because the co-op has to be there. Because, like I said, if there's a trading system itself, that is going to drastically change so many freaking hubs and everything, too, is what I'm telling you, man. That is going to be a humongous economy from the community. The community is basically going to build their own damn economy outside from the ones that are actually in game.
Don't forget that Hello Games hired a guy that specializes in procedural cities.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
We may actually get hub planets in No Man's Sky.
I think so. You know what? I said this, I think, on the last Subcast or the one before it. How there's so many different forums out there for No Man's Sky. There's a lot. There's Reddit. There's Exploring the Mess. There's a whole bunch. But what Hello Games did was seen that there was a need for that. And they created one, and it's called Atlas-65.com. And it's an official Hello Games No Man's Sky forum for us as players. So what I foresee happening is they see how we're playing the game, just like how we communicated with each other on the internet, and they see these hubs everywhere. And the only way to make it really work really well is for Hello Games to establish a portion of a region in No Man's Sky as an official hub, to where people can go and establish, put down their flag and say, okay, this is where I live. Let's make this work as a hub, where it has full functionality to do things that you should be able to do in a hub. So that's my prediction, is that Hello Games is going to establish a region in the game that is a centralized hub for everyone to go to, and we will have the functions to be able to build it up the way we want it.
You've mentioned that before, and I love that idea, Cobra. You've mentioned it, and I love that idea.
That is freaking genius, man.
I think it's what's going to happen. To make it work the right way, because to spread all those features out everywhere, I don't know. I'm not a developer. I don't know how hard that's going to be, but to establish just that one section that is fully functional, 100% capable, I think I feel in my gut that that's what they're going to do.
Like a Coruscant planet.
Oh, that would be dude. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, I'm about to go booby clap the cork off a wine bottle.
I think it'll be an entire region. Like the hub tree.
The hub region, yeah. I can see them actually implementing something like that just to keep
that they don't touch every time it updates, or what?
Mate, you know what? That would be
great. Speaking of that, how many people in here actually watched that that Sean Murray Gamescom thing that happened in March last year? Did anybody watch that?
I did.
That shit was amazing. Excuse my language there, Cobra. I apologize. That was a phenomenal segment. Like listen, like the way he was talking about the way how everything works together and how procedural generation works in the game and everything too as well. I was just like, huh? I didn't really understand a whole lot of it because all the technical babble stuff that he's talked about, but it's the mere concept of it. And like now you're starting to see a lot more games starting to come out now, like a lot of indies mainly, but I'm starting to see like a lot more indies putting procedural generation in their games now. It's crazy. So, I mean, but the way he was talking about, the way he was breaking everything down, I was just like, dude, this guy's a freaking genius, man.
You know, Horizon Zero Dawn has procedural generation. So your sphere of view is really close to the character's body in terms of like high fidelity graphics. And then anything else in the background is procedurally generated, and it makes it less impactful on the system, and that's how you're able to get crisp visuals like that in a really small world. Sean Murray is basically the George Lucas of video games. So
you're 100% right. You know what? When George Lucas came out with Star Wars, he was bashed for it too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. Yeah,
Iceman's in the house.
Good
by the
point.
Way.
That's
Iceman's
a good point.
What's up, Iceman?
What's up, Iceman?
Ice.
What's up, Iceman?
So you guys know how No Man's Sky was basically touted to be the next big thing, right? And then it kind of fell short. I think once multiplayer hits with these, if we're able to like trade with other people or play co-op, I think it's gonna come back to be the next big thing. Like I think it's gonna make the comeback because we're gonna have like Kotaku and Polygon writing all these articles like No Man's Sky is back, and it's gonna bring so many new people into it just because we get the multiplayer things now. You know what I mean? Like
it's already happening. Kotaku's saying a lot of positive things already.
I know, but like that's what I mean. Like everybody kind of wrote it off, but people love an underdog story. Like they like that Rocky story. And I think it has the potential to still be maybe not the next big thing, you know, but it to definitely grow in size. You know what I mean?
When what was the site that gave No Man's Sky the best ongoing game?
PC Gamer.
Okay. I remember when PC Gamer did the announcement on Twitter. I remember waking up that morning and I saw it. I was like, oh, hey, that's definitely well deserved because the game came a long way. And I mean a long, long way. But seeing and then I clicked on it and I was reading all the replies. Holy crap. There was so many crybabies and butthurts in those tweets, man. Oh my Lord. And I was like, dude, what are the games that's come out this year? Or well, I should say 2017, sorry, that deserves this award? No Man's Sky went through hell and back and then some, but yet look what happened to it. It's an actual game. Like it works so good now. Everything is so free flow now, man. It's fun to play.
They deserve that award because no other game did 3 major overhauls and over 25 patches.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You think about it, man.
Name another one. Name another one. Mass Effect didn't do it. Destiny didn't do it. Battlefront didn't do it. Name another one.
EA called it
off.
What does everybody think about Mass Effect Andromeda, by the way?
Do you really want me to share my feelings on that?
Well,
no, because I'm actually against it. I actually loved it. I loved it. The animations did nothing for me. Like it didn't ruin my experience or anything. Like, yeah, it sucks that the game didn't get the updates that it technically deserved, and screw EA for that one. But I enjoyed it. I'm glad that the game didn't branch off of what made the first 3 games successful. I'm glad that it was its own thing. Because you're starting off a new series, don't imitate it. Make it something different. Make it feel something unique and refreshing to the franchise, right? When the first 3 games, outside from the horrible ending, but we're not going to talk about that. First 3 games are a masterpiece in its own right. There's no denying that. We can all agree to that, right? Andromeda just wasn't what people were expecting. Me personally, I loved it because it was refreshing to the actual franchise. It didn't take all the actual gimmicks and all the things that made the original trilogy good. It made its own thing. Yeah, the animations definitely killed it. No denying that. But at the same time, that didn't bother me. The story was okay. I rather enjoyed it.
The animations didn't bother me.
Loved it. I loved that game. It was fun. It was really
the graphics were good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The story was okay. It wasn't that
good. That's right.
Really good.
The facial animations and the lip syncing were not correct.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
They weren't good.
Like I said, that didn't bother me though. That wasn't
what bothered me about Mass Effect after having gone through what I went through with No Man's Sky was that at the slightest bit of criticism, They just gave up on the project. They just said the franchise is done. That's it.
Yep. Which
that's what pissed me off.
Royally pisses me off. I agree with you 100% because that's a franchise that can go so many directions, man. So many directions. I mean, a prequel could have happened.
5 years in development, and we give up.
Yep, exactly. Because of all the criticism and whatever you want to call it. It's like, to me, like you had something going. You could have easily fixed it. And they somewhat did fix a lot of the actual horrendous facial animations, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, the story in general, man, I liked where it was going. It was something different. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm glad they took this route for a different, unique twist on Mass Effect. I like the fact that the main character that you're playing as, Ryder, is not an absolute clone of freaking of Shepard. Thank God. I like how she was more hip and she was more, had blonde moments, but that's besides the point. But I liked it about that character that made her different. There's nothing wrong with that. It just sucks that the game just got.
So here's an indie game that I've been playing lately.
Sorry for venting now.
It's called Starbound, right? Starbound.
Oh, Starbound's a good game.
Great game. Great game.
Oh my goodness! And they've got on PC anyway. They've got a ton of mods for like you made Star Wars, Starbound. It's like No Man's Sky. It's like No Man's Sky meets Stardew Valley. If you can imagine that.
Yeah,
for you guys that have played Stardew Valley, which is like all of us, I think we kind of hold it like we're not going to show our public face with Stardew Valley, you know, but it combines like the No Man's Sky elements, like except that your planet gets destroyed. You're on like a broken down ship that you barely escaped the planet being destroyed. And you have to teleport down to a planet and collect the resources necessary to repair your ship. Right, but it's done in pixel art, you know, and it's fun, you know, man. What a fun game! It's like
isn't Stardew Valley just basically Harvest Moon?
It kind of is, except they've added like in terms of
I love Harvest Moon.
Yeah, in terms of the level, I think of the I guess. I wouldn't call it character development, but sometimes you have these oddly like realistic conversations with characters in the midst of it. And Stardew Valley is kind of like No Man's Sky. You're wandering around by yourself. Although it is multiplayer, by the way, Starbound. You're wandering around a planet like, you know, studying, crafting, killing animals that are trying to kill you, and gathering resources to go ultimately repair your ship. You can choose a multitude of different storylines. Either you repair your ship and you continue to explore the procedurally generated universe, or you can build huge colonies and all sorts of stuff. You meet characters along the way that actually move around.
The game to me.
But it's pixel art. It's pixel art. So if you like, you know, if you like that sort of 8-bit feel that we grew up with,
right? I tell you what, I fully endorse a game called Space Engineers. And if you haven't played it for a while, get back into it. They just rehauled it, man. It is such very underrated game. It's not talked about enough. And I tell you what, if you play it now. A good way to play it is play the campaign. Start a new campaign. And it actually has a story mode in it now. And that'll kind of walk you through, get you used to the game and the controls and things like that. And it's an absolutely wonderful game that is almost like No Man's Sky. Not as beautiful, but it is beautiful in the fact that it is grand. It's got great graphics, but it doesn't have the colors or anything like that. But
there is a game that is coming out though, Cobra, that I saw that was going to be entering early access soon that looked like a complete ripoff of No Man's Sky.
What is that?
I can't remember the name of it. A buddy of mine told me about it. I forget what the heck the name of it was called, but I posted an image on my Twitter feed a long time ago, like a couple months ago, I believe it was, when he first told me about it. And I saw this screenshot, and I literally had thought that somebody just implemented like an NPC character in front of the background on the image because it looked identical. Like the color variations, everything. I'll have to look it up again and remember it. But speaking of when it comes, I'm gonna go back on my Twitter feed right now and look for it. But another game, because it's like I know that you love space games there, Cobra. Have you ever played Rebel Galaxy?
Oh, that's good.
Rebel Galaxy's friggin' cool. I almost used
Rebel Galaxy, dude. Like when I was when this game first came out, I think it was February last year, I believe it was, or March, I think last year. I downloaded it. I bought it day one, played it, immediately fell in love with it. Like it's a game that's like you can't go up and down or anything. It's like on a straight rail, but the whole entire place that you explore in the universe is like completely randomly generated. And you go to different outposts. You can become a trader. You can do combat too as well. But the soundtrack of that game is like a Western, like lyrical music kind of in the background, but it fits the game perfectly.
But it's like graphically rich though. Like it looks good.
Yep. It's that game recommended. Recommended without a shadow of a doubt. Recommended.
Cobra, I've got a question.
Anyway, guys, I got to go.
Okay, buddy.
See ya.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, dude. And you're welcome to come back anytime.
Thanks, man. I really love it here. I love
having you here.
I hope I can come back another time because you mostly do the subcasts Tuesdays, and Wednesdays I have to work, so I can't always be here.
So Thursdays is better for you.
Yep.
Okay, well, maybe we'll start doing a few on Thursdays as well.
That would be nice. Then I will join.
All right, you take care, man.
Well, Cobra, keep up your channel, man, because I really love it.
Thank you so much, dude. It's been a pleasure having you on.
I don't know what time it is, but have a good day, everybody.
Nice meeting you, man.
You too, man.
Thank you very much,
Stay safe.
Laters.
Later, buddy. Okay, so I figured out what the name of the game was called there, Cobra. It's called Planet Nomad.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm looking at this thing, right?
Yeah, I've interviewed them. They're like really good friends of the show. Yeah, they've been on my channel like 8 times.
I said earlier. I apologize. Shit. I didn't
know.
No,
it's fine. It's but I tell you what, it's nothing like No Man's Sky. It's more like Empyrean Galactic Survival.
Oh, okay.
They got a lot of the colors
shots. So yeah,
that's right. But it's not a whole procedural universe or galaxy or anything like that. But it's more like you're just surviving on the one planet, and they want to add a lot to do in space, but I don't think they're there yet. So it's pretty much just like survival mode portion of No Man's Sky and just one planet.
I saw your coverage of Planet Nomads. And Planet Nomads looks really interesting. I don't think it's very similar to it might look a little bit like No Man's Sky in certain areas, but it's very different for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I was only going based on screenshots, so no bashing the company or any of that stuff. Like, so, I mean, I regret now calling it a ripoff, and I apologize for that because I had no idea. But that's fine. I regret that. But the colors, though, the color looked very, very No Man's Sky-ish. From like it's red, coloring to its trees and the way it looked. The colors just very, very vivid, very, very vivid. Vivid.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that.
What do you think about and I want sort of because I know you and like Hersord are really big on like space games, but how like Planet Base is also a really cool game, so I'll throw that out there. But how do you guys feel about Subnautica?
Oh,
I love it.
I just bought that on the Xbox. That was the first game I bought on the Xbox for the game preview, and I can tell you this right now: I cannot wait for that game to officially come out of game preview. I am going to have a blasty blast playing that game.
Everything about that game is Subnautica to PS4.
It's supposed to come out to PS4, but I don't know. But
I think it's just going to come out on PC and Xbox One.
Yeah, best $20 I spent. Best $20 I spent on the Xbox so far. I love that game. Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah. It's amazing. The game's amazing.
I've been bashing on the game because I've been saying for a while, and I'm just keeping it real. I've been bashing on it just between me and my friends because I'm like, basically it's just a No Man's Sky clone, but like underwater. But the more that I look at it, it's actually a really, really cool concept. And I just kind of wanted to get everybody's opinion on that because I'm considering that when it's widely available, because I have both PS4 and Xbox One, I'm considering picking it up. And I guess a part of me is afraid that I may like it more than No Man's Sky, but I don't really. I kind of wanted people's opinions on that.
Kobe, you want to go first on this one, buddy?
I don't. They're two different games. I mean, you can't leave the planet. So it's almost like you're in constant survival mode in No Man's Sky with no spaceship. So I mean, they're a lot like each other, but as far as being able to have more freedom to go somewhere else, No Man's Sky's got that nailed down. But Subnautica, man, I tell you what, I can't. All right, here's my opinion. I can't live without both. Yeah. I gotta have them both.
You gotta have both. Okay.
No Man's Sky underwater. I've played quite a bit of it. I love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's crafting.
That's reassuring.
It's crafting, man.
For what I played a bit. From what I played a bit so far on the Xbox, even though the Xbox is still in game preview, so there's still a lot of frame rate issues there, and that's the reason why it hasn't not officially launched yet, like the PC version did. From what I've played of it so far, and from what I've seen, like a lot of people that have played it, I don't think it's I think it just randomly spawn you when you first start the game off new. It'll put you in like a randomly area, but it's not randomly generated, I don't think. I could be wrong on that though. If I'm wrong, please let me know, because I don't know if it is or not. But as far as like seeing different types of creatures and different, like an array of things that you would normally find, say in No Man's Sky, yeah, no, that's not there in Subnautica. But what makes Subnautica so good is the fact that, like, when you're in the water, like, a lot of people have a fear of going in the water, right? So when you're in that water for a long period of time, just swimming around, minding your own business, and the next thing you know, you got a Leviathan like tracking from behind you and scares the living F out of you. It's those moments that make Subnautica so good. But the crafting system in Subnautica is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like, I've seen some people, the way they build their bases, and like they put like aquariums in their base too as well, and go out and capture a bunch of little fish, and then
I've seen very interesting bases.
Yeah, that game, don't sleep on it. Do not sleep on that game, whatever you do. Trust me, you will not regret it. It's phenomenal.
2 days ago, I was straight hating on that game. I called Hidden Jew Agenda, my friend that I run my channel with, and I was like, it's No Man's Sky, underwater. It sucks. I don't want to buy it. It's crap. This game is a clone. But then I started like looking into it more, and I was like, yo, this actually looks kind of dope.
It is. Trust me, it's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll love it. Once it comes out, once it comes to the game preview, once like the achievements pop in, I'm going to be on that game.
Yeah.
Bad words aside, for a while.
I'm playing it on PC. I'm playing it on PC, and I've streamed it many times. As Dave Langer always likes it. Dave Langer, by the way, is a like very devoted No Man's Sky. If you haven't seen him in every other No Man's Sky, yeah. So he is, like I said before, he's obsessed with the water aspect of this, right? Like, everything about this game is super realistic. I don't know if it's procedurally generated or randomly generated, but I tell you what, when you hop in that water for the first time, it doesn't matter, and that's the bottom line, right?
Right.
You're swimming around. You have to craft a scanner. You're going and you're like trying to scan creatures and figure out what they can do for you or do against you. There's radiation to look out for. There's air to look out for. You can only like be submerged for so long before you start crafting all of your air tanks and all this. It's incredible. And you're on an alien planet. Your ship is crashed on an alien planet,
right? Yeah,
and it's a water world.
The scariest thing is when you go out and you see these like underwater caves, and you're like, well, I got enough oxygen, I can go in there. And then you go in, and you're like, wow, it goes even further. What's that light? And you start swimming down, and you start to get paranoid as hell, because you're like, I want to go further, but I can't because I'm going to die. And that feeling to me is like crazy. I just love that part of Subnautica.
Yeah. Subnautica. I agree 100%.
Do you think that there's the element of the way that we play No Man's Sky now that like may transition into the planet's oceans?
Gosh.
Like, you know how...
I hope so.
You know how I've always wanted to do that. It's such an untapped resource in No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If they would combine, like, if there's some magical way that you could combine the two games, it would be. I mean, I would play no other game.
Would you need another?
I agree.
I wouldn't need another game. No, I wouldn't need another
underwater casino. That's what I want. Underwater casino. Underwater
casino.
You're playing poker with the Gek. Come on, getting Geknip.
Man, you guys got me want to play Subnautica now.
Just so you guys know, there are hotels. If you ever get the chance, check them out. Save up money, whatever you got to do. There are hotels where you can rent a room under the water in the Caribbean and other places where you're sleeping essentially inside of an aquarium bubble.
That's insane.
Oh, that's so
I would
cool.
probably, excuse my language, but I would probably shit my pants if I was doing that, because I wouldn't want to wake up and looking outside the aquarium and just see a freaking giant, white shark just past my freaking window, man.
Just
That's freaking awesome, man. I would definitely love to do that. Guys, we're probably going to have to end the show here because it's been over almost 2.5 hours.
Damn.
And,
you son of a bitch, Cobra.
The amazing person that bought me this poster in the back is staring at me. So I think I'm going to have to get off of here. I want to shout out everybody's YouTube channels and Twitch channels. I want to go ahead and start with Panda. Panda, go ahead, buddy.
Normally I shout out the Hidden Panda Show, but one of the Cobra TV alumni, Tim the Drunken Taco, has his own YouTube channel. And Tim does not look like what you think he would look like, and he's incredibly entertaining. And go check out his channel. It's the Drunken Taco. Check out his streams.
I love that name.
It's really, really cool. And so I just want to shout that out. And Cobra, give some of the Panda love to your family, and hope everything's going okay on your end.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And I definitely want to touch on that a little bit. I was watching Tim's live stream tonight, and he was drinking pretty heavily. So I imagine that the show tonight is going to be really super interesting. He's like, Cobra, watch, I'm going to do this for you. And he had quite a bit of vodka in a bottle, and he finished it off. And he took it hard, man. He had to blow his nose and everything. And I ended up saying in the message, he went through a lot to take that shot.
Let me create the atmosphere.
Okay, go ahead.
So he has had so much to drink today. I love Tim. I've been on party chats with an awesome guy. He has had so much to drink today because he's in a good mood. He's charged up and he's ready to go. He streamed like 3 or 4 times today for like 2 hours apiece. He's probably still streaming. So it's probably pretty wild. I'm just saying.
Right. So he's sitting there choking on this shot and everything, and blowing his nose and stuff. And so I messaged him saying, I messaged him saying, "Oh man, I didn't see it. Did you take the shot?" And he's like, "Yeah, I took the shot. I took it." And I'm like, "I'm kidding, man. I seen it." But he had another bottle to go. He had finished off an entire bottle of vodka, so he had another one. I'm interested to see what this rest of the stream looks like with the other bottle gone. So I'm gonna check that out.
They're not big bottles, so don't worry about whether or not he lives or dies during the stream. They're smaller than 750.
Leaves or he dies.
Okay, go ahead, buddy. Shout out your channel, man.
What was that? You talking to me?
Yeah. Go ahead and shout out your channel.
I was listening. Usually I talk more, but I was just so entertained by all of you just going back and forth. So I guess if you guys want to check out my channel, just go to YouTube, type in Keep Common Game On. I do vlogs, live streams, play No Man's Sky, play random games, indie games, AAA games, games I suck at, Fortnite, all that good stuff. So yeah, check me out if you want to.
Your vlogs are awesome. Keep up your vlogs.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Very awesome. Keep Common Game On. And Colt moved over to Twitch. Colt, go ahead and tell everybody how we can find you.
Yeah, K5
and Ice.
Yeah, and Ice. Iceman Third ID. I'm not sure if he's still in the chat, but I'll go ahead and drop his link. So we've kind of teamed up over there with Boondock, and we've linked up with all our No Man's Sky friends over there. So it's K5RTO. It's actually twitch.tv K5RTO, right? That's all you have to type, /K5RTO. Just look up K5RTO. And then Boondock with the zeros, the second 0 and the last O replaced as zeros. So Boondock's there. And Iceman Third ID right? So look us all up. I personally will be streaming after you get done with your show, Cobra. I'll be streaming Ray Rod's mod and doing some exploration there. So if you're interested, come by and check it out.
Yeah,
we got a real chill community we're building over here. We could use your support. If you've got the Twitch app, it's a really easy way to hop on. But Cobra, I appreciate being on your show, man. It's always a really good time. It's been quite a while, I think, since this summer. And all you guys, Panda, all you guys, Keep Calm Gaming on. You guys are great. You can follow me on Twitter, K5RTO. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, dude. Very good, very good. Fatal.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and tell everybody how we can find you. You're over on Twitch now too, right?
Correct, sir. Yes, I am. Yep, I am over on Twitch. My name is quite easy to actually find. It's that right there, Fatal Mephisto 29. So twitch.tv/Fatal Mephisto 29. I stream literally, well, I try to stream almost every day, but I'll literally stream anything. Good games, shitty games, mediocre games, No Man's Sky. I'm in love with that game. But yeah, feel free to follow me on there if you want to. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's just Fatal Mephisto. No 29, just Fatal Mephisto. At Fatal Mephisto, I should say.
Okay. So, still got the beard?
Do I still have the beard? Oh, absolutely. I'm still rocking.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, thank you, Cobra, so much for allowing me to come back on your show again. I love to, anytime when you want me on here, dude, and I see that you're actually doing this, I'll be more than honored to come back on your show. I love being a guest on your show, dude. I love it.
Likewise, man. I love talking to you, dude.
Thank you, dude.
I know I say it all the time, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, but you are my favorite personality. I can't say YouTube personality anymore.
Thank you.
But I do love hearing you speak and watching your content. I just got to get over to Twitch more, man. I don't know what it is about Twitch. I just got this mental blocker.
Trust me, it's hard. It's hard being on Twitch. It really is. I just like it more because I have more control over my chat, and it's just a lot more simpler for me.
Great channel.
Whereas YouTube just has that blockage there where I can't keep trolls out of my chat and people that harass me all the time. So I just got fed up with it. So I was like, I'm going to Twitch.
Yeah. Sorg, do you got anything you want to shout out, bud?
No, I'm good, man. Just like I love you all, man. Thank you so much for giving this space for me here again on the Subcast. I don't have any channel. I don't cover anything about No Man's Sky and any other game, but you always let me in the Subcast, and I'm appreciated for that, man.
It's a pleasure having you on, dude. I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the call. And, it's been an amazing show. We've talked about a variety of different subjects, different games. I want to thank everybody who came out to the show. We got Melly Lemony in the chat saying, thanks, Cobra. We've got Skitzer saying the set up looks bloody good now, Run. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks to my my better half here. Super stoked about that. And Dave Langer, great stream. Thank you guys for everything. I mean, for the support, for all the years. It's just been an amazing ride, and it's not over. Not even halfway through the ride yet. So hang tight. Hang on. Grab one of those little, what do they call them? Oh shit rails.
It's always like
okay. Everybody take care, and I will see you guys in the next video, and I will definitely, hopefully, hear from you guys on the next Subcast.
Excellent. Peace out, guys.
Man.
Thank you, Cobra.
Bro.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Stay safe and take care.